Knicks family, we knew exactly what to expect. What can we say? Knicks outclassed by the Philadelphia 76ers. Let's rock. Knicks family, we're here. What's popping with you? And I think we all knew what to expect tonight. I think we did. I don't know if we expected it to be as bad, to end up being as bad as it did. You know, we end up losing by 131 to 109 or whatever it was. 22-point victory by the Philadelphia 76ers. We were basically outclassed by the 76ers, right? What else? I mean, what more can we really say? We were outclassed by this team. Just outclassed. We just didn't have enough to be able to compete with them. You know, we didn't have a bad quarter. To be honest with you, we didn't have a bad quarter. But if you give up over 30 points in each quarter, you're gonna lose. For the most part, unless you're scoring over 30 points in each quarter. And God knows we're not scoring over 30 points a quarter. You know what I'm saying? We can barely hit shots. We can barely hit shots. That's the kind of team that we are. Now, I want to thank everybody who, you know, stayed on during the game and just, you know, checked out there wasn't really much going on as far as a live stream besides, you know, the game being updated. But I'd like to thank everyone who stayed on and, you know, checked out the game being updated, listened to some music, stuff like that. You know, but I don't know if I even want to say the game was a debacle. I didn't expect to win. What more can I say? You know, what more can I really say about it? Let's go ahead and recap it and take a look at the box score and things, and you know, break it down from there. And let's just do that. We're gonna break it down from there and talk about it because, you know, defense right now seems to be optional for the New York Knicks. Defense spirit seems to be optional. It's almost like, you know, if you want to play it, okay. If you don't want to play it, that's okay too. That's what it seems like right now to me with the New York Knicks. It's optional. It's an optional thing. Clearly it shouldn't be, but, you know, that's how we seem to play basketball right now. You know, this season, by all means, is probably done, folks. What's our record right now? We are, at the moment, 9-24. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, folks. It's not looking good at all. You know, for some people, it is looking good. I know. For some people, you're happy about it. You love it. You know. And I don't mind losing. It is what it is. You know, we're just not a good team. So I don't mind losing. You know, let's lose with some vigor. Let's lose with some spirit. Let's lose with some fight. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Let's lose like that. But anyway, man, we got a video chat here. Let's talk to some guys in the video chat. We got Viv. We got Nate. Right, let's talk about these New York Knicks and you know, what we're gonna do, because the upcoming schedule, that upcoming schedule is rough. It looks rough, man. It's a rough upcoming schedule. Like, we play Atlanta. After we play Atlanta, man, that game is bad. We got a rough schedule. You know what I'm saying? For those who, you know, want to tank, you don't have to worry about if we want to tank. We're just going to lose. Even if we want to win, even if we're trying to win, we're going to lose. Because we just ain't that good. We can't play defense. We can't shoot the basketball. We don't get assists. We can't move the basketball. Right? We can't play the game for 48 minutes. So you don't have to worry about tanking. We're just going to lose. Even if we try to win, we're going to lose. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we are. We got some bright spots. We got a couple bright spots out there. Moutier came back down to earth today. Kevin Knox continues to play well, but you know, I forgot the guy's name. He had to go to work. We had him on at halftime, and he said he'd like to see the Knicks, when Knox is playing well, he wants to see the Knicks use him in the second half. Well, Knox had, 14, 15 points at the half? Ended up with 19. You know, that's, I don't know. I guess we should probably be able to do better than that. Right? Guess we should probably be able to do better than that. Getting Knox involved in the second half of those games. I don't know, man. Let's talk. We got a video chat building, because I think some guys got some things that they want to say. We got Guillermo, we got Nate, we got Viv, and we got D. I don't know if D's been in the video chat before. Not sure. But we're gonna talk to him. If not, I'm glad that he's here. So let's get on over. Let's talk to the video chat. Fellas, what's popping with you, man? Let's see what's going on. Let's talk a little bit. Viv, what's up with you, brother? How you feeling, man? I'm good. How you feeling?
Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, look, this is just one of those games. I mean, we were wire to wire loss. I don't know what to tell you there. We did not win any quarter. We gave 30 points in each quarter. We gave up nearly 40 points in the first quarter.
We almost gave up 70 at the half. We almost gave up 70 points at the half. I know we scored 61, right? What was it, 69, 61?
When you coach basketball, right, there's no sign that says defense optional, right?
Right. None. No.
There's
never.
No sign that says defense optional. I felt like, recently we put up a sign saying defense is optional tonight. That's just been the story of the last few games.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like, well, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. Let me get around to everybody. Nate.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head, man. Our season in a nutshell. We can't guard anybody, and we can't make shots. I mean, that's recipe for horrible season. I blame the coach. I really do, because I've seen teams that are bad defensively, and coaches still are able to get them to play decent defense. Fizdale, one of the reasons why I liked Fizdale's hiring is because I felt that he was more defensive minded than Hornacek was, and I'm not seeing it, and it's really upsetting me because I'm a defensive minded person, and I really want to see the Knicks get back to playing good defense, because that's when they were the best, or they were competitive in the Eastern Conference.
Right. You gotta have players. You gotta have players to play defense, right? You got to have players that know how to play defense and that want to play defense in order to be successful defensively. And the New York Knicks just don't have it. We just don't have those type of players.
Yeah, we don't have enough of them.
I mean, how many of them do we really have on the team that are straight up, strictly defensive-minded players? Damian Dotson, not strictly defensive-minded players, but players that want to play defense. Damian Dotson,
Courtney Lee, Ntilikina,
Courtney Lee.
I'm gonna say Vonleh too, man. Vonleh really impressed me today on Simmons.
But even with that, every single guy that we just mentioned there, Ntilikina has the ability to be elite. He's not elite yet. From what I've seen this year, he's not elite yet. He has the ability. Damian Dotson is, I would say, above average. I think Courtney Lee is probably average. Noah Vonleh is probably average to above average. We don't have any elite defenders, just like straight up lockdown defender. I don't know in the NBA if you can have straight up lockdown defenders because
I don't think very teams have straight up lockdown defenders.
Offensively, players are so good in the NBA. They're so quick, they're so fast, and the rules are geared towards offensive players. So I don't know, how you really have, if you can really have a straight up lockdown defender to tell you the truth. Right? It's hard because, the rules are geared towards scoring. And it's part of the reason why we're seeing so much scoring. But it's also part of the reason that the NBA is at an all-time high. Because fans want to see scoring. Let's be honest with you. And way back in the day in the 90s when games were like 80 to 85, 81 to 79, there was complaints that the game is too boring.
Yeah.
Right? The game is too boring. And it's too slow and it's too physical and all that stuff. And so the NBA put in rules.
They want more of a finesse. The
NBA put in rules so that we get more of a free flowing offensive type of a game. And that's all right. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. That's all right. I have no problems with that because, you know what I mean? If we want to enjoy this game the way that we enjoy it, then it's got to be around, and that's one of the ways that it's.
I think also too the perception is that with these defensive games, the game takes forever to finish, and with these faster paced games where they're up and down scoring, it seems like the game goes a little faster. I don't know the analytics behind it, but I guess I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, someone said Kawhi Leonard locks up people. Iggy's a lockdown defender, but they're above average defenders. They're elite defenders. I wouldn't say that they just lock down every single person that they go against. Yeah. Right? I'm going to say this. I think it's just my opinion that what's considered an elite defender may not be considered an elite defender, 20 years ago, because the NBA was just different. You know what I mean? And that's.
And what's the basis of elite defender? Is it steals? Is it blocks? Is it
Honestly, I don't think steals and blocks really have anything to do with it, in my opinion. And a lot of people is going to say I'm wrong, but to me, those are surface stats. There's a lot of players in the NBA. There's a lot of players throughout history that can be off the ball and get 2 steals a game, right? Because they're able to play the passing lanes. It doesn't really mean that they're a really good lockdown defender, on-ball defender. You got a lot of people who can get weak side blocks and average 2-3 blocks a game, but it doesn't mean that they're a good on-ball defender. And those two things are really different. I don't know if those two are really are the barometer of a player's defense, in my opinion. But let
me get shooting percentage?
Holding guys down to a bad shooting percentage, I think is a barometer of someone's defense.
No, that makes sense.
Yep, I think that'd be a good barometer of somebody's defense. Let me get around to the rest of the crew. D, what's popping, man?
What's up, son? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Sounds good.
All right, so it's good to be his first time here.
Appreciate it.
I've been watching your post game, your pre game for a while now.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. Every loss is horrible. Every loss is terrible.
Yeah.
But what makes me most upset about the way we lose is the fact that it's always like one screen and then somebody jacks up a shot.
Yeah.
And when the ball caroms off the backboard, whatever, then it's a fast break and nobody wants to play defense on the other end. There's guys cutting to the basket. There's guys like Jimmy Butler had like a couple shots where he just wide open, run down the court like nobody knew Jimmy Butler was playing that day or something like that. And to me, it's like I don't know if it's just what Fizdale is telling them to do on the offensive end, just to kind of play ISO and not really cut to the basket or have other action on the other side of the court, on the weak side of the court. But it's just like if Moutier has the ball in his hands, he'll get the screen, try to drive to the basket and throw up some shot and hopefully get the foul. But if you don't get the foul, then it's just you threw the ball up in the air, right? and against a team like 76ers where, you have Simmons who, he's just going to go to the basket. And once he gets rolling to the basket, you're not going to be able to stop that guy.
Yeah.
So and then he got triple double, he got triple double so easy. Like I didn't even notice some of the assists that he was getting, all the rebounds. I didn't even know he got those until they said it on the telecast.
Yeah.
So for me, like he didn't have to work for that.
Yeah, he was almost there. Halftime. He was halfway to a triple double at halftime. He was like 6 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Mm-hmm. I had no doubt he was going to get a triple double tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let me get around. Let me get around. See what these guys are talking about. And I see my man Rick War. You say every night we complain about defense, but this is a 3-point shooting team and we can't shoot. We definitely can't shoot. You straight up right about that. We shoot less than 44% on the season. From three, we're shooting like 30 or whatever percent from the 3-point line. 35% from the 3-point line, probably less after tonight's game. Let me see. Let's look at where we were from the 3-point line tonight. We were 32.3% from the 3-point line tonight. So we're going to be somewhere around, 34.3% or something like that from the 3-point line after tonight's game. We're a team that, you say we're a 3-point shooting team. I don't even know if we're a 3-point shooting team. I think we shoot up threes. We shoot up a lot of threes. Honestly, Rick, I don't know what kind of team we are. I'm just being real with you, bro. I don't know what kind of team we are. One of the things that, a lot of people complain about and want to talk about when it comes to the Knicks is pace, right? They want the Knicks to play at a higher pace. And if you look at the NBA and you go look at the definition of pace in the NBA, the definition of pace in the NBA is the amount of possessions that you have. And I really think that it's flawed. I do not think that should be considered the definition of pace, the amount of possessions you have. Because what that says to me is that, you can come down and throw up a shot and with 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds into the shot clock, and then, go back down. The other team takes 18 seconds to get a good shot, and then you come back down and throw up another shot within 5 seconds of the shot clock. That's not pace to me. And I'm not saying that every team that has a lot of possessions are bad shooting teams or taking bad shots. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying overall pace, in my opinion, should not be, it should not be determined by the amount of possessions you have, but how fast you find an open shot, right? Patience and pace. Pace and patience. You know what I'm saying? You want to move the ball at a good speed with good velocity. You move it and you set screens and cut with good velocity, good speed, but you're patient in finding the right shot. You know what I'm saying? If you guys understand what I'm saying, and I think some of you have heard me talk about it before, So I think just because the team jacks up a lot of threes, because they're trying to play with pace, doesn't mean that they're a 3-point shooting team. I'm not going against you because you might be right, Rick. I'm just kind of playing a little devil's advocate a little bit. But just because a team shoots a lot of threes doesn't really mean that they're a 3-point shooting team if they can't hit them. They just shoot them a lot. Every team in the league has shooters, but do you have makers? Right? You need makers. We don't have makers. You know what I mean? So, I guess in theory, maybe we are supposed to be a 3-point shooting team. But if you're supposed to be a 3-point shooting team and you don't shoot the three well, that's real sorry. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be, we were supposed to be building this team on defense. So we were supposed to be a defensive team. Well, guess what? We're in the bottom 3 in defensive efficiency in the league. You know what I mean? I don't know, but pace. Yeah, I think we need to re-examine the definition of the word pace and what it means when we're talking about basketball, instead of just looking at the amount of possessions the team has. Look at how fast are they really moving the ball. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with getting up a lot of shots if you're going to be accurate at it. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you can get up 10 more shots than the other team and you're shooting 50% from the field, well, it's gonna be hard for a team to beat you. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. But you are right, though, Rick. We do talk a lot about the defense because, you know, we give up 130 points. You know, we've been giving up so many points recently. And to tell you the truth, I don't know, man. I don't even know what I was going to say. You know, offensively, though, yeah, maybe if we could score 130 points per game, but we couldn't stop anyone from scoring 130 points per game, we'd probably be in the same boat. Maybe some of the games would be closer. I don't know. Ralph Petito, you say, how would you rank the top 5 defenders on the Knicks? That's a good question. I'd have to go and really look at the numbers, you know, break down the numbers individually and see, you know, exactly who's doing what. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, you know, there's so many people looking at things. You really have to look at it and see. It's very hard to say because you have to look at the Knicks do so much switching, right? You don't even know who's guarding who sometimes because they switch so much, right? And I get the philosophy behind it, but sometimes it's problematic. A lot of times it's problematic, and a lot of times it causes us to be in trouble, you know. So sometimes it's hard to know who's really defending who. And the way to break down who the best defenders are is to see, you know, if the Knicks are playing against the Sixers, see, you know, how many times did Ben Simmons score when Hardaway was guarding him? How many times did Ben Simmons score when Dotson was guarding him, when Frank was guarding him, when Vonleh was guarding him? You know, and you probably have to break that down and look at that throughout the season to really see, you know, who's forcing people to have, you know, a bad shot percentage, field goal percentage. You know, you have to really look at the game and see, you know, who understands their rotations and whatever defense we're playing, you know, and stuff like that. Right. You know, I see a lot of stuff in here when people talk about, you know, Frank is, you know, last in the league or whatever it is in the league about, you know, with the pick and roll. But you also got to pay attention to who he's playing the pick and roll with. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a whole lot of our guards are last in the league in pick and roll defense, you know, because they're playing with, and that's cancer. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of, you know, the defense of our team is going to, you know, an individual's defensive performance is going to depend on who they're playing with. You know, right now as a team, we're just horrible defensively. We're horrible. Teams can get whatever they want, whenever they want, it seems like. And that's part of the reason why we have so many fourth quarter. We can't execute in the fourth quarter, right? We can't execute in the fourth quarter. Why? Because defensively, other teams can get what they want whenever they want. They can just, you know, they say, okay, this is what we're going to go to, and this is what we're going to do. And they do it, you know, without much resistance. Penetrate to the basket without much resistance. You know what I mean? And that demoralizes an offense. That demoralizes a team. And then it's, you know, it puts pressure on you to execute on the other side on the floor on the offensive end. Because now it's like we can't get stopped. So now we have to score. Now you got a little bit more pressure on you, and then that makes it harder to score. Bad situation. Bad situation for us, man, on a lot of nights. Bad situation. I'm loving it, man. We got some new people in the chat. I'm loving it. You know, I'm definitely loving what we see in the chat right now. So, yeah, that's it's a beautiful thing. Let's finish going around in the chat and see what guys talking about. Ant's falling asleep, so I don't know if he's even ready. All right.
I don't know, man. I told you I look high, yo.
You do, man. You do. I don't know what you was doing before you got on the stream, man, but you better hope there ain't no cops watching.
Yo.
So what's your take, man?
I was telling Viv, I was like, Knox is playing well. I was like, man, if Knox is playing like this and we losing, I don't mind, man. I kind of wish everybody else would keep winning. And trust me, I'm not a tankster wankster, but man, I'm not mad at all, man. I like what I'm seeing out of Knox. All I wanted for Frank was him to get a shot. Frank is getting a shot. He's not really taking advantage of it. You know what? He gotta prove himself. He gotta play better. Yeah, but it's not much to take away from these games a lot of the times, man. I just really go into it, seeing how the young dudes are gonna play, and that's how I base my satisfaction on. How Knox plays, when Mitch get back, how Mitch plays, how Frank plays. That's what I'm going to the games looking for. So, I like what I'm seeing from Knox. I just wish, he does it a lot when he has a great first half or he has a great second half. I'm waiting for him to put that full game together. And I want to see what that looks like.
Yeah. That full game, I think like my man said, and he's in the chat right now, we gotta look more to him in the second half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes, let's try to feature him maybe every once in a while. That's what I think. Let's try to feature him every once in a while.
I mean, from 3-point range, he's one of the few ones I trust to take the shot on this team. So
Knox is definitely playing, man. He's definitely playing. And like who's Marcus saying, Knox is always good in the first half, fizzles out throughout the game. I don't want to say, we can't say always. It's been like that, maybe the last 2 games, maybe 3 games. You know what I mean? There's been games where he had, a couple of games where he has played the full game. We can't, one of the things that we do, as Knicks fans, we never look at the full picture, though. We always look at what happens right now, today, or what's happened the past 3 games. You know what I'm saying? I know it's been like 2 or 3 games where he hasn't played well in the second half, but there's been other games where he has played well in the second half. Come on.
But yeah, like in those games, Sam, he didn't play well in the first half. So it's like he picks a half where he's like good, and I think that's the next step for him. Staying, get more aggressive with calling for the ball and, being a little more assertive.
Yeah.
That's his next step.
Yeah. And, I think, he'll get there. He'll get there. I think, it calls on the team and the coach too. If he's not hitting or whatever it is, see if you can get something, call it up for him. Call something for him. You know what I mean? Call something for him, to try to get him going. We don't do anything like that. I don't ever see us call somebody's number. You know what I mean? I never see him just
like we call Timmy's number every time.
And we don't call his number. He just takes it.
Call his own number, yeah.
He just takes it. You know what I mean? I don't ever see it. Doesn't feel like to me that we ever just call somebody's number. And I would like to see a little bit more of that going on, where you see somebody struggling, you say, okay, we're gonna call this guy's number. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I don't know, Jay Alvarez. I don't know, like, why you yelling. You know what I'm saying? Like you telling me to calm down. You the one that's yelling in the chat. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You the one that's calling in the chat. I'm not stressing. Like, I don't stress, my man. You know what I'm saying? I don't stress. You can check my blood pressure. I'm good. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Man, you going there?
Yeah, let's get around. Let's get around to everybody else. Grandma, what's popping, man? What's going on?
What's good, Sim? How you doing, man? This is I guess it's par for the course, man. The defense is rather pathetic. We talked about this ad nauseum before, man. This is the tank is in, man, and it's sad because I prefer development of young players, because I think that if you get what you can prove something out of these guys now versus hoping that the draft and the signings will come. I think you get a better team and a better foundation. But we've talked about this so many times, Sim. I mean, I even rather prefer us play with a smaller lineup. You know, take Cantor out and just have a team that cuts a lot and shoots off the picks and things like that nature, man, because it just looks stagnant. Like, too many times I've seen guys dribble 10 seconds down the clock, and it's, you know, maybe make a pass and a guy shoots right away. No pace, no feel for the game or nothing. So I don't know. And I'm seeing in the newspaper some I don't like. I don't know if it's coming directly from him or if he feels this way, but I'm seeing guys in the New York media say like, this is not what Fizdale expected, and it's starting to wear on him. And I don't really care what the New York media say. I just hope that he's not saying it in so many words, because it's like, bro, you came to New York. What did you expect? Like, only certain guys, only certain coaches, only certain players can succeed in New York. And if you're not that, go someplace else and do well. And don't waste your capital over here, because it's not going to look good. So I hope he doesn't have a weird fatigue. Like, he should see this as a 3-4 year build, where he's building a team, building young players, building a culture, building a philosophy, having an identity. And when I watched this game, this is the second Sixers game that I saw no identity. I saw nothing. Like, the only thing that I see, maybe a little ISO here and there, but our team should not be just ISO guys. We don't have an all-star team of ISO players. You know what I mean? I remember somebody, I don't know who was in the chat, but somebody said that, where are the easy passes for these guys, man? If you look at our team, Sim, we don't have a stacked lineup, so you have to create easy chances for guys, and I just don't see it, man. I don't. So I don't know, man.
Where was this? I didn't see exactly, that article, whatever.
It's on Bleacher Report.
About Fizdale.
I'll find it. It's on Bleacher Report. I'll get it right now. But I didn't read the whole article. It just said, this is not Fizz expected. And maybe they took from the interview that he had the other night after the game. Uh-huh. So it might just be New York media hyping it up. So I just hope he's not saying anything that shows so-called fatigue. I'll get it right now. Yeah, it's on New York Post by Mark Berman. I don't know how credible he is, but
Mark Berman. I mean, I guess he's probably got some inside sources.
Yeah, but Sim, this is a team that you got to look at and you have to be proud. You have to be almost like Moses in a way. Like,
right.
You got to be the guy that you fix the team up, and possibly you might get pushed out once the team is almost ready. Almost like Tony Dungy and John Gruden, if y'all watch football, with the Bucks. Like, Tony Dungy built the team, and then they got rid of him, and the next year they brought in John Gruden, and he won the Super Bowl. So that's how I look at it. And I mean, the same thing like Mark Jackson, if it wasn't for some of his religious stuff that people don't like, I guess. The guy, he built Golden State for the most part. He probably did 70% of the work, and then Kerr came in and he won the championships. And I'm pretty sure if Mark Jackson was a little, more moderate, he'd probably have another job by now, because people looked at that and was like, no one ever thought Golden State would win. So that's how I look at it. I don't think that, and I don't know if he is, but I don't see it, Sim. I don't see, what is it that you see with this team where it's like a Fizdale staple that you can say that's a Fizdale play, or on defense that's that Fizdale. They're clogging the passing lanes, or
I haven't seen
they're making the guys take bad shots all the time. Like, the only thing I saw tonight was when Frank Ntilikina was helping to double on Embiid and it forced Embiid to make cross country passes. One actually went for 3, but a few times in the second half, it resulted in kind of like a broken offense. Which I don't know if that's Frank or I don't know if that's Fizz, but what can you tell me something that you see that's a staple of Fizdale in any of these games?
No, I don't see anything. I don't see any kind of identity for the team right now at all. I'm not sure what it is. Listen, we know that we do nothing well. I'm not sure what it is that the only thing we do well is lose, right? Or the only thing we do well is play bad. That's the only thing we really do well is play bad. I'm not even worried about the wins and losses, just play bad. But I'm just, I just want to know, like, what identity do we want to build? Are we trying to build? I'm not sure, because you like you're saying, at least whether or not some things worked or if we won or not, you would at least see some of these things that we're trying to build. And I'm just not sure. I feel like we're all over the place. That's how I feel. Right? I just feel like we're all over the place. as far as the team. Yeah, I just feel like we're all over the place.
And that's why I said, I'm sorry to cut you off. That's why I was saying that it would actually behoove us to have a veteran, a few veterans, the Brook Lopez I like, or the Kyle Quinns that, guys like that to come in. And they may not be the best at what they do. Obviously, not like premier players,
right?
But they're the guys that are going to get other guys in shape because they do what Fizdale want or would want to a T, even if they're not the best at it. And they can harp on the younger guys like, "Yo, this is what it is," blah blah blah, and hold them accountable. When you have an army, and I've never been in an army or anything, I'm just talking out of my butt, but you have to have your sergeants, you have to have your officers that help implement your discipline. You know what I mean? And we just don't have that, Sim. I don't see it. Like, I'd rather make a trade for, like I said, Brook Lopez, bringing guys that, look, they might be here for 1 or 2 years. They may not be here for the long-term future, but they help to instill your culture, man. I'm looking at Knox. Yes, a 21-6 is nice, but it seems like a very quiet 21-6. He's not. What is he doing on defense? You know what I mean? Dodson had a good night tonight, but what are these guys doing on defense? I don't see it. They're not stopping guys from scoring. Even if they have a good offensive night, not stopping guys from scoring. There's no intensity. Even I don't see guys I don't see the Tony Allens getting hyped up when they get a steal to rah the guys, like the guys who want to do the dirty work and are proud to do the dirty work. I don't see that. Maybe Vonleh here and there, Frank sometimes, but it's nothing. It's like they're playing dead. It's like as if it's just everyone's confused. Like no one knows if they really want to play basketball or not. Yeah, I don't know. Man.
And that's if you see the cover of the thing, it says no spirit, and that's what we're playing. We're playing without spirit. It feels like, man. That's how I feel. No spirit. No spirit. Regardless if we win or lose, we need some. You got to have some spirit. You guys have some
heart.
Spirit.
It should hurt you to lose, man. Like if you're coming from winning programs in college and all that stuff, it should hurt. Look, I'm a Jets fan, right? And Jamal Adams is a beast for the Jets, second-year player. And he says it hurts for him to lose. Like he's never been a loser all his life. And he wears it out on his sleeve. I've seen this guy, the Jets would be down by 20-something. This guy gets a sack. This guy gets a tackle for a loss. And he's celebrating like he won the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't see that from these players, man. It's weird. Maybe it's the contract, Sim. These guys, this new age, guys are being soft. I don't see grit. Nothing, man. I'm sorry to keep going on. I apologize.
But sometimes, if who knows what's happening or what's going on. If they're thinking too much on the floor, you might not see that kind of a grit. I don't know what, if they are or what there is to think about, as far as what's been being put in place. But you're right. Mm-hmm. I'm not seeing the intensity, the spirit, the aggressiveness that we want to see. I'm not seeing it. Whether or not we win or lose, I just want to see. We were in the beginning of the season. We were, but it's fading. It's faded away, right? It's fading away, and sometimes losing will do that to you. Losing to do that to you. And I'm gonna go over these box scores real quick, and then I'll get to some of these other guys that's in the chat. The Knicks lost 131-109 to the Philadelphia 76ers. And listen, it wasn't one quarter that did it in for the New York Knicks, right? I mean, we were at least competitive in each quarter. First quarter, 38-33, 76ers. We lost it by 5. Second quarter, 31-28. We lost it by 3. Third quarter, 30-24. We lost it by 6. Quarter number 4, 32-24, Philadelphia. We lost it by 8 points. We weren't blown out. We didn't play horrible in any one quarter. If you let a team score 30 points in every quarter, your chances of winning are low.
Not now.
We can't get stopped.
The thing with Raymond Felter is that Charlotte didn't develop him correctly.
Here, let me mute these guys out. There we go. So that's kind of, that's basically it, guys. You know what I'm saying? We didn't play horrible, but we just let it mount up. We were outclassed by the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. We just let it mount up by letting them, our biggest lead was 3 points in the beginning of the game. Philadelphia's was 26. And slowly but surely, even though we didn't play horrible, slowly but surely the game started to get out of hand. Right, we lost the rebounding battle, 41-35. Right, we've been a decent rebounding team all year. We lost it tonight, 41-35. We had 22 assists tonight. The 76ers 31 assists. The Knicks had 2 steals, 2 blocks, and only 8 turnovers. The 76ers had 9 turnovers, 4 blocks, 6 steals. We shot 43% from the field, 32.3% from 3. We shot 31 3-point shots. We went to the line, and listen, we've been decent going to the line this year. We've been decent. We went to the line 31 times. We made 25 free throws for 80.6%. The 76ers were 22 or 25 for 88%. They shot 50% from the 3-point line, and they were 53.4% from the field as a whole. And that tells you everything that you need to know about this game. We were just straight up outclassed by the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, we'll go just take a look at the box score. Kevin Knox tonight, 21 points, 6 rebounds. Noah Vonleh, 6 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. And that's Cantor, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Tim Hardaway Jr. had 27 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. Emmanuel Mudiay came back down to earth tonight. All right, came back down to earth tonight. Emmanuel Mudiay, 11 points, 5 assists for Emmanuel Mudiay tonight. Definitely fell back down to earth, and that's okay. That's okay. You can't expect them to, play like that all the time, every single night. I'm sure most of us wish that he could and that he would be able to do that. But he'll bounce back if that's what we want to say. I think he'll bounce back. Luke Cornett played 10 minutes, had 3 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Damian Dotson played 22 minutes, had 14 points, 1 rebound. And Damian Dotson's been playing well all year long. All year long, he's been playing well. And I'm sure there are a lot of teams that covet Damian Dotson because he can shoot. He can rebound the basketball. He can play defense. Lance Thomas, 16 minutes, 3 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Frank Ntilikina, 16 minutes, 3 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Courtney Lee played 10 minutes. Mario Hezonja, 3 minutes, 2 points, 1 rebound. Trey Burke did not play tonight. And we're back into this again now that, we're getting all these people back from injury, folks. There's going to be some guys who don't get on the floor. Some guys that some of you may want to see on the floor are not going to get on the floor. Isaiah, man, what's popping with you, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Sam? I got a special guest in the building tonight.
Special guest in the building, all right? Who's your special guest?
I got my special needs cousin. He's a Sixers fan. He's a little slow.
Nah, he's a Sixers fan. All right. I mean, they're nice. I mean, it's not too much you can say to them tonight because they look good.
Yeah, man, ain't nothing else you can say. I mean, we just came from the game. We just left now. We're on our way back home. This is my cousin Kyle. Say what up, Kyle? What's up, man?
What's up? What's going on with you, Kyle? What's up with you?
Nothing much, man. I'm enjoying this victory,
All right. Congratulations. Y'all not winning nothing, but congratulations.
You already know, Sam. You know how that go with them. Oh, man. But, man, we had a good time, though, man. We got some good seats. We watched the game. It was good, man. It was good. I seen it in person, Sam, and, my first thing I came out the game, I was like, they need to feature Kevin Knox more. I think he's ready for that, man. Because I feel like I remember when KP's second year that we should have featured him more, but we didn't. I think we should do that with Kevin Knox. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, man, I'm not sure that David Fizdale is going to feature anybody. Tim Hardaway doesn't get featured. He just does what he does. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't really get featured. He just is going to shoot the ball. You know, Tim Hardaway is going to shoot the ball. He's just going to shoot the ball. You know, I mean, I don't know right now if anyone is going to just straight up be featured. But I agree with you, though. They should, you know, try to feature him a little bit more.
I'm looking at him at the game, and he just looks ready to be featured. Like he looked like the best player for the Knicks on the court.
Yeah. Well.
Also, too, I mean, with Frank, I think, you know what, Tim? I think Frank's injury still messing with him a little bit. He just played. He played bad tonight. He played bad tonight. I can't even hold you and say he played good. He played pretty bad. And you know, I heard what Guillermo said about the guys, like the energy guys. I've seen the Sixers have that in T.J. McCollum. What's his name? McConnell. Man, like when I've seen him do the hustle plays, the whole bench got fired up. He brings the energy for those guys, man. And we definitely need we don't have a loud guy. The last loud guy we had was Tyson Chandler. When it comes to talking on defense and talking and you know, giving us energy, man. Like I said, they played pretty quiet. They didn't play really hard, and you know, and be honest with you, man, between Luke Cornett and Cantor, man, they were scared of Embiid, man. They just couldn't guard him, man. It just looked impossible tonight with him, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't even know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. Takeaways. Give me some takeaways. Give me some positive takeaways. Is there any positive takeaways from the game? Kevin Knox is one.
Yeah, like I said, at the game, Kevin Knox looked good. Damian Dotson looked good. Between those two for me, pretty much were the bright spots of the game. They both look really comfortable. Also, Tim Hardaway played, I guess, efficient tonight too. He played just on the defensive end. He sucked, but I mean, he did a pretty decent job on Jimmy Butler, the best that you can do. So I'll give him his credit for that.
Did you see? I don't know. You know, did you see the first? I mean, I seen Jimmy Butler walk to the hoop a couple of times when Tim Hardaway was guarding him. You know, just like take a stroll down the lane, smelling flowers. You know what I'm saying? Kicking pebbles. You know what I mean? Listening to his country music.
Because he gets to go in the second round this year. He's happy he gets to go to the second round this year.
They'll get to the second round. They should get to the second round if they don't suffer an injury.
Hey, Sam, ask him where he was at 2 years ago. Ask him where he's at with the process.
Well, where was he? Where was he with the process 2 years ago?
Sam.
Huh?
It's okay. You know when your team becomes good, people pop out anywhere.
Uh-huh.
Bro. But you know what, man? It's all good. It's all, you know, bro.
We see what they do. They got a young squad. You know what I'm saying? You know, they got their little, you know, they did their little process, but let's be real. They still filled out the team with free agents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you got Embiid and you got Ben Simmons, and then you got a couple other guys, and you got some free agents too to get you to where you are. But you know, Philip, they got a young squad. They're gonna be nice for a little while, and if they develop the way that they should, you know, they'll be contending for a couple of years, and we got to deal with them. You know, you look at this Atlantic Division: Toronto, Boston, Philly, Brooklyn is better than us. We got a lot to deal with, but with Toronto, Boston, and Philly should be nice for a little while, and we got a lot to deal with those guys, man. A lot to deal with with those teams.
Like I said, man, it was a great experience tonight, man. I fun, even though we lost, but I enjoyed myself. I took to the.
That's what's up, man.
That way at that game.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, Isaiah, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go home. I'm gonna let you go ahead. You know, don't. Let me tell you what. You in that Jersey, Delaware, Philadelphia area, don't go through no tolls without paying for it, because you'll come home like the toll will be like $1 and you'll get a $50 bill. Trust me. So I hope you got an easy pass.
No, I got you, man. I'll be safe, man.
Yeah. Just, you know, they try to get you up around that area, but yo, I'm gonna let you go, man, so we can get to the video chat. All right.
Man.
All right, shout out to you and your cousin, man.
All right, thanks. Nice talking to you, man.
All right,
He's
nice
a
talking to you
loser, Tim.
too,
Don't
man.
talk to-
All right, peace. All right, folks. Let's get to we got Nas in the video chat. You know what I'm saying? Ain't the Nas that, you guys know, but it's Nas nonetheless. Nas, what's popping with you, bro?
Well, what's good, Sim? Hold on, I'm just trying to mute them.
All right.
So yeah, what we talking about? I kind of missed what you were saying.
I'm just trying to get your takeaway from the game, man. Give me some positive takes from the game tonight.
Positive. Oh,
we
that's
know
hard.
Kevin Knox. We know Kevin.
Oh wait,
Knox is
Kevin
positive.
Knox. Yeah.
We know Kevin Knox, right?
He's a star, for sure.
Yeah. Any other positives you see from this game tonight? I'm just looking for some positive takeaways. I'm gonna come to Mark.
Timmy's trade value.
Okay.
Keep that going up. He has to go, bro. He has to go. I understand he tries and he's our only scoring option and all that, but like, I'd rather put Trier in that spot and let him go. He's more efficient. He takes less shots. He's more willing to pass. His ego is not crazy high like I feel like Timmy's is. And I don't know. I don't like Timmy's game.
Yeah. My only thing about Trier in that position instead of Hardaway, if it were me and Hardaway was gone, I would put Dotson in that position. And my reasoning is because Trier can't. Well, I'm not gonna say he can't. At right now, he doesn't shoot off of screens. He's more of he's got to get some rhythm dribbles to to get a bucket at least in the half court set. He can kill you in the fast break. But I think we need to have a guy on the floor like Dotson and Hardaway plays this style too, where they can run off screens and catch the ball. And catch and shoot, run off screens, catch and shoot, curl in, catch and shoot. Dotson doesn't really do that. That's why I would put. Trier doesn't really do that. I would put Dotson there instead of Trier, and then let But still, I see what you're saying. Clear the space for either one of those guys, right?
Yeah, just because, honestly, when you have Timmy, getting so much minutes, then you have Dotson playing out of position. You got Trier playing out of position, throwing him at the three, which is fine, for limitless. I mean, not limitless, positionless basketball. But it's like I want to see them at their position, and Timmy being there is really hurting their development.
Yeah.
Like if Trier was a first round draft pick, like he should have been, in the range he should have been in, then we wouldn't even be talking about Timmy. They would have been traded him away. But since of his position, and they're like, I'm pretty sure they're probably unsure whether or not he would be the guy. Timmy gotta go, bro. I don't even know what else to say about him. He has to go. And the reason, I'm a big Frank fan, so. And I feel like the main reason why I'm a Frank fan is because of the possibilities. Just the fact that if he was able to get a competent, if he was able to be competent on offense, he would answer so many of our problems. Because our guards can't guard anybody. But when you have him on the floor, the offense will become stagnant because he's not really doing what we want him to do on that side of the floor. If we just had a point guard that could play both sides at least competently, we would be so much better. Like Moutier cannot guard. He'll have some stints of decent defense, but for the long run, it's just he'll collapse eventually. And when he does, they go for him. They go for him, and they go for him.
Well,
and Cantor being there, forget about it. 30 points. 27 points. I mean, you name it.
Well, as far as one of the reasons that we're the type of team we are is because we don't have any complete players. You know what I'm saying? We don't have complete players. That's one of the reasons why we are 9-24, because none of our players. There's not one player that you can say is complete. Dotson, he's good. I guess for his position, for what he does, for what you're asking him to do and what his role is, maybe he's the most complete player. Maybe him and Vonleh are the most complete players, but they're both role players, right? And then everyone else, of course. I mean, we're a team full of role players, and none of them are really complete, which is the reason why we're this kind of a team. You know what I'm saying? And that's what role players are. Now, we have some young guys that could turn into complete players. But we got to give them time to get there and see if they'll get there. But, right now we're a team full of incomplete players. That's why you see the offensive, defensive substitutions during the end of games and those type of things, because we're incomplete. We've got to, we do got to give it a chance. And, you always got your Frank haters.
Of course.
You got your haters on everybody on the team. There's haters of a player on every player on this team have Knicks fans who just don't like them.
Well, we should all be agreeing on Timmy. That should be a no-brainer. I don't care how many points he scores. I don't care how much layups he may or may not get. I don't care about none of that. He has to go. Yeah, he has to go.
I mean, from Frank to Timmy to Cantor, even to Knox. You know what I'm saying? All of them got somebody that doesn't like what they do for this reason or for that reason. Listen, there's always going to be things that we should talk about and can talk about. But when it comes down to it, we have a very young team and they're all incomplete, and we got to give them time to show what they can do in this league. Unfortunately, for some of the players, and I've said it before, I don't think we're going to give them time. The way the league is right now, there's a lot of teams that quit on players. Denver Nuggets. Can I ask you a question? Denver Nuggets quit on Emmanuel Mudiay, and I'm not saying Emmanuel Mudiay is a star right now, but one of the reasons why they quit on Emmanuel Mudiay is because he couldn't score from the field. Right? They say he had, he shot a low percentage from the field. Well, this season he's shooting 47% in his fourth year in the league. He's 22 years old. They kind of quit on him. You know what I'm saying? They said he was too turnover prone, and he was turnover prone early in his career. Right? And I mean, it's still early in his career. He was turnover prone when he first came in, but he's taking that down now. He's at like 1.9 turnovers per game when he used to be at like 3.2 turnovers per game. It takes time. It takes experience. It takes, learning the game, understanding your body a little bit better, being in shape, all those type of things that it takes, to play in the NBA, especially at that point guard's position. But, we live in a microwave world, man. We live in a microwave world.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
One more question before I go. Do you feel like they're putting a lot of effort into developing Mudiay and like not... And like if they put their efforts that they put into giving Mudiay and helping Mudiay get his game along, do you feel like if they put that much effort into Frank's offense, just his offense, do you think that would make a difference?
No, I think that I think they're probably putting the same amount of effort into both of them. I think Mudiay is just way more advanced than Frank on the offensive side of the floor right now, and so that's the reason why he's a starting point guard. I mean, Frank had a chance to claim it, right? He had, he was a starter for about 10 games or whatever. He had a chance to claim it, and he didn't. And, when Mudiay took it over, he kind of claimed it so far. You know what I mean? So, I think that they're probably, you have to look at, I mean, just because, one player is playing more minutes than the other doesn't mean, in practice, in whatever kind of developmental plan that they have for the players, that they're not, those coaches aren't putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not putting in the work with those players. I'm pretty sure, there's coaches staying late with Frank to work on his jump shot, to work on his ball handle, to work on this, to work on that. It takes repetition and it takes time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It takes repetition and it takes time. And Carrie 420 says, you said Sim should have said that Jamal Murray is much better point guard than Mudiay. Well, you know what? You want to know something? In all actuality, maybe he is a better point guard than Emmanuel Mudiay. Maybe he is a better shooter. But when Emmanuel Mudiay lost his starting position, he lost his starting position to Jameer Nelson, not to what's his name, right? Go back and look it up. He lost his starting position to Jameer Nelson. Right? And maybe for good reasons. He lost the starting position to Jameer Nelson because Jameer Nelson ran the team a little bit better. And the Nuggets, that year they wanted to make that 8th seed in the playoffs. They wanted to try to get into that 8th seed. That's what they were trying to do. So he lost the spot to Jameer Nelson. The next year, he was in a battle with Jamal Murray for the starting spot. Jamal Murray got the starting spot. Jameer Nelson was no longer on the team. Right? That same year, Emmanuel Mudiay got traded to the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? And even if you had both players, even if Jamal Murray was starting and Mudiay was on the bench, I mean, they ended up burying him. Just burying him. You know what I'm saying? You could have still worked with the kid. And try to see if you can build upon him. He was in his 3rd year in the league when you traded him. 3rd year in the league for a kid who didn't play in college, right? Came from Prime Prep. Go look it up. He came from Prime Prep, where Prime Prep was already a place that was, marred with controversy, right? No coaching there. The academics were messed up. They were in financial ruins, marred with controversy. Prime Prep was around for 2 years, 2014 to 2016. Prime Prep was gone, and Emmanuel Mudiay came from that, and that's the reason why he didn't play at SMU for Larry Brown, because there were questions about his academic eligibility. And instead of him, getting suspended by the NCAA or not being able to make it academically, and he also needed money, for his family because of financial situations, he decided to go to China and take a $1.2 million contract. Right? He went to China and took his $1.2 million contract, got hurt, was unable to play for most of the season. He played 12 games in China, including 2 playoff games. Right? And then you bring him to the NBA and expect him to lead your team to the playoffs. Right? You bring him to the NBA at 19 years old and expect him to lead your team to the playoffs. Right? And instead of giving him a couple years to get seasoned, you ship him out of town. To me, that's giving up on a young player. That's my opinion about it. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So you take it, you give up on it. You just give up on a kid. Maybe, and I don't know what happened there. Maybe their relationship just soured. It could have. And I'm not making excuses for him, right? Because even if you're a professional, even if you're on the bench and you're not playing, you stay in shape, you do all those things. When he came to New York, he wasn't in shape. He needed to get in shape, right? As a professional, that's what you do. But also as a kid that's 21, 22 years old, you may not make the best decisions, right? You may have you might make some mistakes as you're 22 years old, still learning how to be a man. This dude was just allowed to drink in bars last year. Oh, a year and a half ago, whatever it is. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, to me, the Denver Nuggets gave up on him, and they may end up regretting it. Right? They may, because the reason why they wanted to have Jamal Murray simply is because he's a better shooter than Emmanuel Mudiay. Right? And listen, the Nuggets, maybe they might have made the right decisions for their organization. Maybe Jamal Murray just fit better at what they're doing. It doesn't mean that they didn't give up on Emmanuel Mudiay. In my opinion, they gave up on him. You know what I'm saying? And there's going to be you're going to see a lot of that happen going on in this league, because players are being drafted very young, without a lot of coaching, without a lot of experience. They come into the NBA, and then what happens? Teams expect these guys to come in and do this and do that because they see other players come in and have a good 2-3 years, and they expect, well, this guy's going to do it. This guy's going to do it too. But every player is not going to be that way. Every player is going to have their own road to battle, their own road to climb. But the expectation is that this guy is going to be the savior. This guy is going to be the future, and the future is right now. Nobody wants to be patient and take the time to help somebody or to see if this person is going to develop, and turn into something. So there's going to be a lot of players in the near future that they start with one team. And I mean, it's already happened. You look at Chauncey Billups, you look at Steve Nash, you look at Kyle Lowry. They started with certain teams and they didn't play the way that people expected them to play. They went to other teams and they became better players, all-stars. Right? It's going to happen a lot in this league today because people are going to give up on young players because we live in a microwave world. I'm saying everybody wants instant gratification. Mark, what's popping with you, man? You there or you froze? I think he's froze. You know what I'm saying? He's got his mug frozen on the face. All right, Nate. What's good with you,
man? You made great points about Moutier. I've been saying that a long time to people that I said, well, why take a flyer on this guy? I mean, yeah, he didn't have the best development. I mean, you even want to go as far as Denver. I mean, Eric Musselman was coaching for his job. He wasn't coaching to develop Moody.
Oh, we lost Nate. I don't know what's up with these guys in the internets, man. These guys in the internets. Viv, what's popping, man?
What's going on, Steve? What do you want to discuss?
What'd you say?
I was like, what do you want to discuss now?
I'm just looking for any positive takeaways from this game, man.
It's hard, Sim.
Looking for something to take away. If you were the coach, right?
If I was a coach, right? Let's say
So if you were the coach, right? and you said to your staff, you said, we need something to take away from this game.
Yeah,
to say to the players, listen, we did this well. Let's package this and take it to the next game. What would it be?
So I would look, if I'm the coach, right? If I'm the coach, I would probably take away the first half, right? The first half, we gave up 69 points, right? But we scored 61, right?
Right.
So, we had a better first half than the second half. Second half, we gave up what? We had a 14-point disadvantage there. But you could take away probably the first half, in my opinion. Say, okay, sure, we gave up a lot of points, but, maybe we scored enough points to make a difference. And to put it in perspective, right? We scored 61 in the first half. We scored 48 in the second half.
Right.
So if I'm the coaching staff, right, I would look at the first half and see, okay, how can I build off that? If I'm the coaching staff, okay, I can look at, okay, I got 31 free throws tonight, right? Can we work on continuing to drive into the paint so we get those free throws? Can we reinforce to our players like, say, Tim Hardaway Jr., right? Okay, Tim, you hit 7 for 16 from the field, and you had 10 for 10 from the line. Mm-hmm. Maybe you don't need to get 10 free throws, right? But can you get maybe 6 free throws, right? Can you do that? And maybe can you have a 7 for 16 line somewhere around that? Now that's the offensive end. Now defensive end's another story, but at least if you want to start with positives, right? Maybe we can take some positives on that end. Okay, so Timmy had 10 free throws, right? You can use something like Timmy. Okay, Timmy, you had 5 assists. Can you do more of that? Noah Vonleh, you had 10 rebounds and 5 assists. This is good. Can you continue to do more of that? And maybe you could build off some of that a little bit, because the rest of it's just really it's been already reinforced to some extent, right? Damian Dotson. It's hard to really tell Damian Dotson to keep on doing more of what he's already been doing, right? He has the same type of performance that he's had the last, 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 games that he's played. So, 14 points, 6 for 11 from the field. He's already done that. All we can hope for is that our players just keep on doing more of the same. And then, maybe positive encouragement for Knox is that, okay, Knox, you scored, 15 points or whatever in the first half. Can you balance out your halves to the extent where you score maybe 10 points each half rather than scoring like all your points in the first half, right? Perhaps those are some sort of stepping stones that you can kind of build off of a little bit. But
Yeah. Okay.
I would go in that angle.
Okay. All right. Let me see what some other people say about this. D. I'm gonna come to D. I'm gonna ask D. D.
What's up, Sam?
If you're the coach, if you're Fizdale, and you know you got to take away something positive from tonight to give to the players, what are you taking away from this game that you can give to the players?
We played better than the last time we played them, I guess.
Did we play better than the last time we played them? Maybe
it wasn't over to the fourth quarter at least.
Okay.
Last time they were out of it before you even thought.
That's true.
I mean, really, there's really nothing. I mean, you can't really take anything out of it because I don't know. You can't really say what are we doing? What are we trying to accomplish? What is our goals? Like, are we trying to get more assists? Are we trying to be better defensively? If we don't have any goals, then how can we have positive?
Right.
I mean, you know, I guess maybe, I don't know. I can't even think of anything because assists were better. I guess that's a positive. Assists were better
in the first half. They were better. In the second half, we ended up having what? We ended up with 22. I think we had like 15 in the first half.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, and we ended up with like 22.
We were a little behind them, behind the Sixers.
Yeah,
I mean, it's because Really, the biggest problem is that we don't have much ball movement, so nobody wants to play defense because nobody's going to get the ball back. Nobody's going to feel the energy of the ball being passed around the court, right? So when it's hard to say what positive we do when we're not when nobody's really doing anything that's like basketball related, where somebody's just standing in the corner or everybody's just taking one shot here and one shot there, and that's really it. So I can't really say we did anything positive besides, getting our assist numbers up. But what does that mean if we still get losing by like 20, 25 points?
Right. Okay. It's hard to find something in this win. In this loss, it's hard to find something in this loss that we can take away. To have a positive takeaway is definitely hard. Let me see. I'm gonna come to Nate. Let me see. Nate.
Hey man, I'm back.
Give me a positive takeaway from this game. Something that we can take away from.
Vonleh's defense, bro.
Okay, Vonleh is good. Vonleh is good.
He played good defense on Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons had to work really hard to get those points. I mean, he got one dunk I think I saw in the game, but he didn't let him get in the paint like a lot of people do. He forced him into like 3 or 4 turnovers. I was really impressed with him, man. He stuck with him, and I think Fizdale, went to Vonleh before the game started and says, hey, you're going to guard Ben Simmons. Are you up for the challenge? And he did. He did well.
Okay.
Shoot, man. I wish everybody played defense like that. We wouldn't be giving up 130 points a game.
And they got a little testy, too. Ben Simmons and Noah Vonleh. They got a little testy. I've seen them bumping each other a couple of times. They got a little testy. I
tell you what, man. I like Vonleh, man. I would like to see us, if we have some leftover money after we do what we do, to really give him an offer, man, because he's a scrappy guy. He's a big guy. His shot has gotten better. He's actually pretty good inside, and we're going to need guys like that off the bench.
Right. It's hard. And maybe, guys can see a little bit of, just what Fizdale has to go through. You know what I'm saying? Because even when you get and you're looking at film and you lead the game, you can't just harp on everything that's negative. You got to try to find something. You got to even if you're grasping at straws, you got to find something that you can bring to the team and say, you see how we did this?
Exactly. Right? I guarantee you he will highlight Vonleh in that.
Maybe he'll highlight Vonleh. Maybe he breaks out stretches of the game where the Knicks played with the right intensity, the right ferocity, the right ball movement, had the right adjustments on defense. That's what you got to do. You got to break those pieces out and then say, see, this time we rotated correctly. This time we defended the pick and roll correctly. This time, we were on the ball diving for loose balls. We were, we were in them defensively. We were ferocious. You got to show them some of those things, right? You got to show them some of those things, and then show them the bad things. You know what I'm saying?
Well, coaches always find ways to find positives in situations. I mean, they're always going to try to be that motivational type of person to make those young players understand that, hey, it's not all that bad. You did this well, but you need to work on this, you need to work on this. And, I mean, that's what his role is. He's supposed to be that way.
Yeah. All right, let me come to Mark. Let me see what Mark got to say. And I want to hear something positive from Mark. All right, Mark, I want to hear a positive takeaway from you. Positive takeaway. Let's see if you got one. What's up, man? Mark, can you hear me?
Listen, hold on. Listen, I look at KP and his freaking how fast he developed by the time where he's at right now. Because people thought, listen, this is why I look so highly. The way I look at him, number one,
who are you talking
is
to?
because I don't have to worry about him off the court. Number one,
Mark,
playing in New York, that is the most.
I don't know. I guess Mark not talking to me or talking to y'all. I guess he's talking to somebody else in the chat, trying to get Mark to answer a question. That's how Mark do. If you're new to the channel, you guys will get used to Mark. You know what I'm saying? And if you're new to the channel, please hit me with a sub. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? Hit me with a subscription. Hit the notification bell. You get a notification anytime that I go live. And make sure you check out. It's growing and it's getting better. We're doing some things on it, man. We got the 24-hour stream that we do, and it's growing. 24/7. Knicks 24/7. That's the name of it. Building a new set for it so that you got constant Knicks news stream coming through. You know what I'm saying? There'll be replays of videos, replays of this video, and we'll be adding a constant stream of Knicks news and rumors just constantly coming through. You know what I mean? And it's growing. It's going to continue to grow. So make sure you check it out. Support it if you can. Again, sub the channel, hit that like button, hit that thumbs up. And if you are a New York Knicks creator and you have content, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? And we can put something of it on the 24/7 stream. And also, I have a few items that I'm going to be raffling off pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? Maybe as soon as the next stream, I'll be raffling it off pretty soon. I got a signed Courtney Lee jersey sitting in my closet. You know what I'm saying? That I'm going to raffle off. A couple other signed items from like Walt Clyde Frazier, like a picture from Walt Clyde Frazier. Some other things that I plan on raffling it off, you know what I'm saying? And I have a link to the raffle and stuff like that. I'm not exactly sure, when it's going to be there and done for you. But if you are a sports memorabilia person and you like to collect sports memorabilia, this would be a great chance for you to get stuff for very cheap. For example, the Frank Ntilikina signed jersey will probably raffle it off for like $5 a ticket. Right? And you can enter as many times as you want. But you would have a chance of winning that Courtney Lee jersey for $5, $10, $15. There'll be other items on there as well. So just be on the lookout for it. If you're a sports memorabilia fan, you like to collect sports memorabilia, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for that coming pretty soon. Now, Mark, are you there, Mark? You ready to talk, man? Mark, you ready to talk?
Man.
You there?
I'm here.
What's
I'm
up,
here.
man? What's up, man? I tried to.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I tried to talk to you earlier, but you was talking about KP.
Because
I want you to give me.
Sometimes I have you mute, so sometimes they tell me. So I try to hurry up and unmute you to hear you.
Yeah. I want you to give me something positive. If you was Coach Fizdale, something positive besides Kevin Knox, besides Damian Dotson. Find something deep. Search for it.
All right.
Right? Something positive that you can take away from this game. There's always got to be something positive that can help the team with their development.
You know, I said this when I was watching it. The thing what we do is that when we down in game and we play with this intensity, we play with a certain intensity at times. You see it in flashes, but because we don't have enough, we don't have the right players to run what he really wants to run, because it's a whole bunch of players that have so much deficiencies on the floor when you watch them. And when he puts when he puts a young squad out that could run, that could defend and move their legs, that's always the squad that get us back in the game. But the thing is, when teams hit us, we got to learn to hit back harder, and we always don't hit back hard. Just like we was coming back into the game tonight, and then Ben Simmons just went on like a 6-point
run,
scoring 6-point run, and then the team just didn't come back from that. That's the thing I don't like. And another thing he does with substitution, when he puts in that units to get back in the game, I don't want to see the player that he takes out that hurts us in the game, puts him back in. Because when you do that, teams, per se, when he puts back Kanter in the fourth quarter sometime, I'm not saying his whole play, but because teams know schemes and know that Kanter is so bad, they purposely go at him because, number one, he's not going to end up with a good defensive play almost every trip. So teams are going to experiment every time when you put a player like that on the floor when it's time to win the game. But I like that when sometimes when we're down, we fight back. Almost every game, we're always down. But I like the fact that we fight back sometimes, but we don't know how to punch back hard. We don't know how to punch back hard when teams punch at us within coming back. We don't know how to punch back hard. That's what we got to learn how to do. But it's because of the deficiencies of a lot of players. And Fitz tries to protect Kanter, but there's no way in hell. Any player that can't play good amount of defense, teams just go at them. I watch it just like what Ben Simmons did to he did on our guards. They put all our guards in a screen and roll, and Ben Simmons just went to work. If you watch Ben Simmons against other teams, he don't necessarily do that to other teams. But because our guards is not tall enough to guard him, not strong enough to guard him, he's going to take advantage every trip, and that's what he did. That's why they won the game, because of Ben Simmons in that 6-point run when we was damn near tied with the game. He took over, and then after that we just let it go. I don't like that. But that's due to the fact that we have certain players that don't play up to the level where it can make the coach look good. That's why when people come down on Fitz, I don't believe he sits there and say no. I think he tells them, but Sim, sometimes it's up to the players to go out there and play, bro. They got to go out there and take it. I know y'all don't like Tim Hardaway, and they was talking about, sometimes Kevin Knox fizzles out. Tim just goes ahead and take the ball. Now, if we have more players that just take the ball instead of being so passive, because we have a lot of passive players on our team, and we don't have a lot of players when we put them on the floor. We have to tell them, listen, when you're on the floor and you get the ball here, just shoot the ball. Don't take it unless it's a good shot. Don't dribble and pump fake and pass it back. When you're open, just take the shot. So teams can fear us, because when you watch it, teams don't fear us enough. That's just what it is. That's why we don't have good spacing.
We don't have good spacing because we don't shoot well.
Yeah, and because we have a lot of play. When you look at our squad, from Moutier, from Frank, these are not shooters, bro. They're not shooters, and they're not willing to. Even if they're not even willing to take the shot. That's what's wrong with it. It's not like he don't. He puts them on the floor not to play. He wants them to shoot, but these players, that's just not their game.
All right, yeah. but this is my thing with, because what you're saying is correct, right? We got guys that sometimes maybe are timid. We don't have shooters on the floor, right? Yeah. But isn't it the coach's job? You got to coach who you have, right? So isn't it his job to try to get these guys in positions where they can be comfortable? Because right now, I don't see him ever try to get someone in a certain position on the floor. We do the same predictable actions right? So I don't see any time where we say, okay, let's try to get this person in this position or that position, right? And I know everyone's going to say, well, he's waiting to learn players, to learn what they can do. By this time, in my opinion, if that's going to be someone's argument, you have an idea of what some players can do, and you could have began to start saying, okay, let's try to isolate Kevin Knox in this area of the floor, or let's run these actions with Kevin Knox and Emmanuel Mudiay, or whatever it is. I'm still not seeing that, because we don't have those kind of shooters. If you don't have shooters and guys that can really score prolifically, that's not really prolific, right? Then you got to use a team concept, right? And moving the ball with man movement, ball movement, to really create that. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have that either. We're still based on, a lot of what we do is still based on isolation play. And we don't have, if we don't have guys, like you're saying, we don't have guys that want to shoot the ball.
Yeah, it's like this.
Then we need to use some kind of ball movement, man movement, a lot of it.
But you gotta understand, Sim. If he puts them on it's damn near 30 games, Sim. There's no way in hell you're telling me Fizz did not even tell him you have to move. There's games where I saw them move seamlessly, and there's games where they just don't do it at all.
But I'm saying, right? There's games where they don't do it at all. So what's he do about it? That's what I'm saying. What's he do about it? Put in some people that's gonna do it.
But Sim, you're gonna have to sub in other players. These players can't play 30, 40 plus minutes at a time.
You're gonna have to sub in some other players. But like you said, well, Tim Hardaway is the only one that goes out and gets it. But Tim Hardaway is one of the only ones that also, he doesn't really, he takes crazy, bugged out, whack shots. Right. So, and this is, one of my things with the whole thing with Tim Hardaway is if you're trying to implement some things that, because like Fizdale says, he's not proud that they're so low in assists per game, that they're one of the worst teams in the league. He's not proud of that. Right. So if you're not proud of that, why not discipline one of the people that is the cause of that? Now, Timmy had 5 assists today. Right, so you got to give him that. He had 5 assists today, and I know Fizdale said he's working with him.
He's a decent passer because he played in Atlanta, and it taught him to pass a bit. Right.
And I know Fizdale said, he's working with him on that being his next level of development. For him to learn how to use his teammates a little bit better. Right. But
I have a theory.
Right, but every other player that needed to develop somewhere, when they didn't do what he asked them to do, he sat them down. Right? Except for Timmy. You know what I'm saying? He sat him down except for Timmy. Every other player, if they weren't going to the basket, Frank wasn't going to the basket like he asked him to, Frank wasn't shooting like he asked him to, he sat him down. Trey Burke, whatever he was asking Trey Burke to do and he didn't do, he sat him down. I don't know what he was asking Trey Burke to do and he didn't do, and he sat Trey Burke down. Maybe it's just because maybe he just, I don't know, right? But but other players, Mario Hezonja, clearly sitting down, right? Because he
don't even care,
right? Because he's not doing what he wants him to do or not being productive. And people will say, I know some people will say, well, Hardaway is being productive. I don't think 39% from the field is productive.
I saw that,
this has been a season-long thing, dude.
Honestly, when they put up that stat on the television, I cringed.
Yeah,
so hard. Yeah. I cringed. I ain't gonna lie. 39 from the field, I cringed.
Yeah, that's cringed. And you know what's even worse, right? A couple games ago.
Jesus.
When I was watching the game, they put up a graphic on the screen to talk about how Tim Hardaway Jr. was shooting bad, right? Yeah. And they put up a graphic to say, for these amount of games, he was shooting 43%. And then now for these amount of games, he's shooting 38% or whatever it was. And I'm thinking to myself, you guys act like 43% is good.
No,
it's okay. It's decent. It's not horrible.
It ain't good for a person that shoots with so much volume.
Exactly. For a person that shoots with that kind of volume, it's not good.
because it hurts the team from time to time because number one, he's our number one guy for right now. But I have a theory with Fizz and with the players that we have here, because what people are understanding or seeing is that these aren't the guys for what Fizz wants to run or going to run. So I believe, me personally, even when you watched him when he coached Grizzlies, Grizzly has nothing but athletic wing defenders that was able to do things. I think right now he's trying to develop who he can develop that's going to stay here, but a lot of them is not going to be here because these are not his players. These are not his type of players.
Right.
Because he's coming from Miami, and Miami go for a certain type of player. So he's going to take whatever he learned from what he saw in Miami and what helped him win. He's going to take it and bring it here, the toughness, because at the end of the day, a lot of our players aren't tough or they ain't gritty enough. They're not. They're just not. Like I said, with Tim, it's to a point he's going to get traded. Why he's going to get traded this year? Because a lot of these teams in the West right now that aren't in the playoffs, that should be in the playoffs, they're looking for shooters. All right. And I believe that we could give Tim out with a second. If we have to give a second round pick or two of them, take it, because that's what's going to happen. Okay. I think he's just letting them play out, implementing certain things to certain players. That's going to stay, because a lot of them are not going to stay. You could just see it sometimes.
Half the squad. It's going to be a whole new squad next year. It's going to be a whole new squad.
To me, it's only about like 5 to 6 players that I think that's going to be here. Honestly, that fits his mold. Because even when he plays Mitchell, he would love to play Mitchell even more sometimes because he's active defensively. He moves. Dotson's going to stay because he has the ability to defend. Moutier is a different scenario unless we get Tim off the deal, because we can't have Moutier's deal get interrupted with that max money that we have, and that is a big problem.
Right. All right. Let me come back to you, Mark, because I want to talk about a Tim Hardaway deal. I've seen it. I think
he's gonna get shipped.
Yeah, I first seen it with Knicks Film School.
Because Houston want Caldwell Pope, and Lakers don't want to give it to them, but that's what Houston is looking for. They're looking just for shooters. Teams are looking for shooters. If you want to take 10, go ahead. 2 second round picks, take them.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what's going on. Let me get to Israel right quick, and Israel, what's popping, man?
What's up, Sims? What's going on, brother?
I'm chilling.
I ain't actually get to watch the game today. I probably like 2 quarters of the game today.
2 quarters, okay.
But man, with the whole Tim Hardaway Jr. thing, man, I feel like I know what I loved about Hoser, man. When he was in Atlanta, bro, he was doing things wrong. He was shooting up stupid shots. He took him out of the game, man. He sent him to the G League, man. And after that, he came back a different type of player. Now he's in New York, and he has all this freedom because Fizdale, I don't know if he's trying to trade him and he's trying to shop him around so people could see what the way he's playing. But he got to he needs to be a little bit, even though he had a good game today. I'm not gonna take that away from him. He had a really good game today. But the way Mike Budenholzer utilized him and the way he was like being disciplined in him, that's the way you got to be with him, man. You can't just let him do whatever he wants and shoot all these shots. And you know what I mean? It's just it's not going to get us anywhere. And with the whole Houston Rockets thing, with what Mark just said, it's not going to happen because Houston doesn't have enough money to even pay Tim Hardaway Jr. So that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys about this. This is, I seen this from Knicks Film School. Knicks Film School, was not vouching for this at all. They posted it because they seen it. They didn't really post it. They retweeted it because they seen it. I don't know if it's true or if it's not. I think maybe Bill Simmons mentioned something about it a couple weeks ago. We'll see. I'm going to ask you about this. I know I would do it in a heartbeat when I'm getting ready to pull up. I would do it in a heartbeat without even thinking. Right? Without even thinking. I wouldn't even take a breath. I wouldn't even take a breath. I would do this really, really, Anyway, here it is. And this is retweeted by Knicks Film School. Is Steve Donahue, and I'm not exactly sure who Steve Donahue is. I think he's a radio host somewhere out in Dallas or something like that. He says, I have a reliable set of ears in the front office, and I'm hearing the Mavs are ready to move on from Wesley Matthews. Both sides, right? So talking about Matthews and the Mavs are motivated to move him in a second rounder for Tim Hardaway Jr. More to come.
I would do that in a heartbeat, man. I would do that in a heartbeat. I love Wes Matthews, man. I feel like he's a great shooter, good defender, great player, man.
How much is this real, or is this just some dude? You know, let me see. Steve Donahue. What's he say? Faith Family Sports Food freelance writer for KUVN Channel 23 in Dallas. I don't know. I don't know. So, it's hard for me to say how much, this guy really does know. You know what I'm saying? About the situation, or where, who his contacts are, or anything like that. But if that was the case, I can guarantee you I would be on that so quick. It would be happening today. All right.
What's Matthews' contract already? How long does he have left?
He's a free agent at the end of this season. He's an expiring contract.
I'll do that in a heartbeat, man. Hey, yo, Sims, can I say one thing before you go on to the next guy, man?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was driving to work today, and I was watching your old stuff, man, from like last year, and watching your stuff. I think you were talking to. That's when you had like the single chats, and when people were calling you in, and you had that Skype tone, and it was like stuff.
Yeah.
Yo, that brought me back so many memories from last year, man. Yo, honestly, Sims, you come a long way, dude. Honestly,
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it because
I love it.
I'm gonna tell you what, that was the most. Oh my goodness, it was terrible, right? I'm trying to talk to one person on the phone, and somebody else would try to call in.
Yeah, you had to keep on clicking something to turn it off and stuff.
Yo, it was bad. It was bad, man.
Yo,
so
you your thing, man.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate you for being around for so long to remember that.
That was
man.
like the time when my daughter was born. I was at the hospital for a little bit, and that's when I started listening to you, man. And I was like, yo, I like this guy right here, man. You know what I mean? I like listening to Knicks stuff, so that was cool.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it was so bad, man. It was, and so I was like, I gotta invest in a phone system. So I went ahead and invested in a phone system specifically for this because it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. So yeah, this guy Steve Donahue, man. I don't know. We don't know who he is. He does some kind of TV stuff out there in Dallas. We'll see. We'll see. I think, and as a matter of fact, somebody mentions it in this tweet here that says Bill Simmons actually said this. You see right here, this guy says, Bill Simmons called this a few weeks ago. So we'll see. We'll see if that's something that happens. What other trades would be out there for Tim Hardaway, though? Right, and why would Dallas actually feel that Tim Hardaway? Let's see. Let's take a look at Wes Matthews because, Wes Matthews is on an expiring contract this year. Tim Hardaway has a couple years left on his contract. I'm not sure why they would want to. Why they would want Timmy? Right? Why would they want Timmy? Timmy. I don't know. Let's take a look and see what Wesley Matthews is looking like.
Right.
Okay. So
I don't feel like the Dallas Mavericks aren't even going anywhere this year to even want him.
Yeah, I mean Wesley Matthews, he makes $18 million this year. Let's see what his stats are for this year. Let's see what his stats are. Wesley Matthews, he was supposed to be. Now he is a guy that can play some defense, right? And he was a decent shooting guard for a while. Right, he was a decent shooting guard for a while. He was supposed to be something maybe bigger than what he is now. When they try to put that team.
How old is he?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to find that out right now. But I'm sure, if the Knicks made that kind of a trade, it wouldn't be to keep him around.
Definitely not.
You know what I'm saying?
Get rid of him after this year, then.
Yeah, they'd be dumping. So this year he's averaging 14.7 points per game. He's only shooting 42% from the field, right? Tim Hardaway shooting 39% from the field. Why would Dallas want to bring back a worse shooter? You know what I mean? And especially when you got a guy who has an expiring contract. He averages 2 rebounds a game, 2.5 assists per game.
I don't think they're even utilizing him like that, though. Wes Matthews hasn't been getting any burn this year, man, because they got a lot of new faces on that team, man. Dante's just like going crazy right now, so
yeah,
I don't even think they're actually utilizing him like that right now.
Yeah,
he actually had his best years in Portland.
Yeah,
Portland?
Of course, it was Portland. He had his best years. He had his best years then. I feel you. Well, let me get on and talk to some other people in the chat. My man riding in the car. I can't really see who it is, and I don't see your name. Who's this?
Yo, what up? It's Karim.
Oh, Karim, what's popping, man? What's going on with you?
Everything's good, man.
I'm chilling, man. I see you with you on your way home from work or whatever.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So did you get a chance to see the game at all? Probably.
The league pass is free right now.
Yeah.
And I got another site that I'll be watching on my phone, something Rose, something. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I seen the game, man. I seen the game.
Yeah, probably what you expected, right? What I've been asking everyone is to tell me if you were Coach Fizdale, what positives are you taking from this game? If you got to find something to give to the team, what are you giving to them from this game?
Positives from this game? Man, let me see. Let me think. All right, Knox, he's getting more comfortable.
Right.
It's always good to see Knox. I mean, he's they said he's the first rookie since Mark Jackson to score 15 points or better in 5 straight games.
Okay.
That was like 1987. So yeah. So that's a positive. And
it's atrocious.
Everything is game to game. So I mean, that's one of the things I like about him. He's very optimistic. Glass half. Frustrating. Like I said, you know what? Another thing, Sim, I wanted to say. Last time I called up, I looked at the show, and it may have appeared like I was arguing with you. I wasn't even talking to you, and it looked like I kept talking over you. But I think I had you on mute, and I was arguing with somebody.
Okay.
I was like, yo, speak up, son. I wasn't even talking to you.
Oh, I don't even remember you saying that, but yeah, I don't even remember. You might have said that. I might have figured you was doing that. But yeah, I know. That happens a lot. That happens a lot. Some people, sometimes don't even know I'm talking to you because you in a conversation with like 8 other people in the chat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like now I'm learning that I need to mute other people when I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
The positives from the game. Dotson, another positive. Professional, always ready to go.
Always. Yep.
Yeah, always ready to go. I love Dotson. I mean, I think those are the positives. I mean, we're going to lose a lot of games. We don't have the ideal guys on the floor to put the type of, not really the effort, but just accomplish the things that Fizdale wants to accomplish. When Mitch Bob out of foul trouble, I'm sure he'll be a bigger reason why we win games. So, yeah, I mean, the main positives out of it is that we played better than we did last game. After the fourth quarter. The team we played, it was just top 3 team in the East, and probably a top 5 team in the NBA at this point right now. So I mean, I don't think that we did anything really bad. We just lost.
Yeah, they're just they're just a team that they're just in a total another class than we are right now. You know, they're just a whole nother class, especially with the addition of Jimmy Butler. You know what I'm saying? They're in a whole nother class. You know, class that, you know, we hope to get to in a couple of years. You know, we'll talk about Tim Hardaway, and you know, there's some rumors out there, you know, that the Dallas Mavericks are interested in trading Wesley Matthews for Tim Hardaway Jr.
Oh wow, really? Okay, that sounds good to me. I'm definitely interested in that.
I would do it. I do it quicker than a hurry. And as a matter of fact, the deal that they said is out there, I don't know if there's been an offer or anything like that. It's just, you know, this guy who put it out there, and I think Bill Simmons also, you know, kind of had the scoop on it. Said that you know, the Mavericks would be looking to move Wesley Matthews and a second round pick for Tim Hardaway Jr.
Well, hey, we're down on Tim because he's our guy. But I would. I'm trying to. I need to mute. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Tim is our guy, and we're going to be hard on him. We're New Yorkers. We want the best. We want complete players, but you know, there's no telling how other guys view him and how they might view him. So
right, and that's the thing. We don't know. You know, how other teams view him and how they see him, especially when, you know, I don't remember how he performed when we played against the Magic. I mean, against the Mavs, you know, but a lot of times teams see other players performing against them, and then they look and they're like, okay, you know what? I like what this guy did against us, and, you know, maybe, you know, they just see something and like the way that they might fit with them.
They have their primary ball handler and Doncic, and their secondary scorer probably maybe, I don't know how you would look at him, but that's for
right.
The Warriors. What's the boy's name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they might be looking at him as an option. You know, they might cover him a lot more than
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure, you know, I'm not sure if the Knicks are going to trade Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm not sure if there's going to be a team that really wants Tim Hardaway Jr. You know, honestly. There could be, you know, he's shooting 39% from the field. I think a lot of teams probably look and say, you know, he's doing this, you know, he's doing what he's doing on a bad team, but you never know. You never know. Tonight, I know, you know, there's probably not a lot of people that want to give a player of the game, but my player of the game, I'm going to give a player of the game tonight. And, you know, my guy for player, oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong thing. Sorry about that. My guy is Kevin Knox for player of the game because I just like what I'm seeing. He's developing before our eyes. That's my New York Knicks player of the game tonight, Kevin Knox. You know what I'm saying? Because he's developing. He's becoming everything that we asked him to be in his first season as a Knick. And I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to play like this. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kevin Knox, you know, end this season averaging 15 points and 6 rebounds a game or something like that. I think right now he's already up to about, I think Kevin Knox is up to about, you know, like 11 points, 12 points a game right now. And if he continues to play the way he's playing, and, you know, like Mark said, a couple other people said he hasn't even really put together a full entire game. When he really starts to put together that game where he's playing his way for both halves, you know, he's going to be doing something, man. So, you know, big shout out to Kevin Knox. You know, I'm gonna, regardless if we win or not, I'm gonna find a player of the game, and he's my player of the game for the night. Kevin Knox is. You know, we're getting down to the end of the show. I want to find out from you guys what you think about Atlanta and New York. Can we get a win here? Because if we don't get a win, we don't get a win here, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not sure when we get another win. And I see Ace Bezel says, I love Knox, but look at Timmy's stat line. You know what? That's cool. I seen Timmy's stat line. You know what I'm saying? I seen what Timmy did tonight, right? Timmy had 27 points. He shot 44% from the field. You know, he had 3 rebounds and 5 assists. That's cool. He also had 3 turnovers. Kevin Knox had 21 points. He shot 47% from the field. He was 3 for 6 from the 3-point line. He had 6 rebounds. And, you know, I think that Kevin Knox is starting to come into his own, and I want to give him props for that. You know, Timmy, you know, he was good. It's cool. You know, he shot better than 39%. So, you know, but he's a little bit closer to what, you know, Timmy shoots 39%. He shot 44%. Kevin Knox actually shoots like 35, 36%. He shot 47% tonight. You know, so that's a bigger leap to me. That's why I'm giving it to Kevin Knox. You know, that's what it is. You know, when I think Timmy deserves it, I'll give it to him. You know what I mean? I'll give it to him when I think Timmy deserves it. Let's go around. Let's get to. I want to know what you guys think about the Knicks versus Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? D. Grant, you said, I live in Atlanta and they're talking about getting revenge. Okay? Talking about getting revenge. You know, they might be. And, you know, that's something right there. That's something right there that I feel like the Knicks are missing, like that desperation. And this is the problem when, to me, it is the problem when, you know, when you're telling a team, you're telling your players that they, you know, they're not expected to win. They're not, you know, and those type of things. I feel like you lower expectations. And when you lower expectations, you know, that desperation goes away. You know what I'm saying? You know, that desperation goes away. Whether or not, I think I just feel as a coach, you know, I've coached a lot of bad teams, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Tyreek Singleton, you say the reason you didn't give Timmy player of the game is because you don't like the kid. I don't like the way Tim Hardaway plays basketball. I'm not going to lie. Do I know him personally? I don't know him personally to say I don't like him personally. Yeah, we might be best friends. But I don't like the way he plays basketball. But I've given him props before. I've given him a lot of props before. You know, I just feel like Kevin Knox deserves it more. That's it. You know, I just feel like he deserves it more. See, you threw me off. I forgot what I was about to say. I coached a lot of bad teams, man. And now I forgot what I was about to say. So anyway, Knicks versus, I know what I was going to say. Coached a lot of bad teams. You know, and you have to find a way to make the kids feel desperate. They need to feel desperate. So even when I knew my team wasn't going to win, you know, wasn't going to have a winning season, you know what I mean? I'd still, you know, I told them I expect us to go out and win a game. You know what I'm saying? I expect us to go out and win, especially when I seen it was a team that we, you know, that we could beat. My expectations were always high. You know, when I mapped out and I looked at tournaments, I didn't map out, okay, when we lose, this is, you know, we're going to play in the constellation bracket. I mapped out a road to the championship, and then we take it from there. Right, that's it. You know, we play against teams that I know we're outmatched. Of course, I'm not going to say to them, listen, we need to go out and beat them. That's not smart because you're probably not going to beat them. You know what I'm saying? But you give them some goals. You're playing against a team that's outmatched. Okay, maybe we don't beat them, but let's try to accomplish some goals so that we can put ourselves in a position to win. Right. And then it gives you something to shoot for. So you have some kind of desperation. I feel like we basically just say, yeah, we don't expect to win. We're not worried about the wins and losses. I can understand coaches saying that to coaches. But I feel like when you're talking to the kids, when you're talking to the players, I'm sorry, you know, you want to put emphasis on, you got to make them feel desperate, some kind of desperation. And when you don't feel that desperation, you see the lackluster play. You see the lack of fire. And that's what I feel like we're seeing now. Because I think that the players know that winning isn't the main priority, right? And so your expectations are low. Nobody cares if you win. So why come out with that fire? You know what I'm saying? Why come out with that fire if my expectation, why come out with that fire if we're not expected to win? We're not expected to do well. Why would a player come out with that kind of fire? You would hope that they would be self-motivated, but that's not always going to be the case. Whatever the management is saying to themselves, we want the coaches to be like, yo, let's go out and get this win. Let's win. Let's win. Even if you know the truth in your head, you know what I'm saying? Let's win. Or if you're playing a team that you're just severely outmatched, this is what we're going to try to do today. This is how we're going to try to put ourselves in position to win, even if you may not. And the players may know that you probably won't. But you try to put yourself in a position. You try to accomplish some kind of goals. And I'm not sure we're doing that. Because even if you have some goals, and even if the players know that maybe they're not going to win the game, but they have some goals to fight for, right? They have some kind of goals in the midst of that game to fight for. Either it is to have a better third quarter, or go execute down the stretch, whatever it is. You're able to. You got some energy and you got some spirit and some spunk to try to accomplish that goal. So I don't know. And maybe there's some other things going on that I don't know about. Right. I did see a question that I wanted to answer real quick here. And Knicks fan from Albany, you said, would I attach a first round to get rid of Timmy? No, I would not. I want to keep my first rounds. I would rather, I know, he's on the books, for 18, for the next couple of years and $18 million. But I wouldn't give up my first. The only way I would give up the first round draft pick is if I was already locked and loaded with, a big free, some big free agents and all the supreme talent. And I'm like, okay, we can afford to give away one of these first round picks, but I wouldn't give away a first round pick to get rid of them. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do it. I'd rather just eat it. I seen something else. D Grant says, Sim, I think if Tim Hardaway can be traded, I really feel the Knicks will be a different team, good or bad. Oh yeah, we'll definitely be a different team. I think we'll see some. I think we would see some people step up. I know there's been some people that say we wouldn't be able to score without Timmy. I disagree. I think we would be able to score, and I think we'd see some other people step up. It might, there'd be an adjustment. Let's say he was out. Let's say he was traded. There'd be an adjustment for a little while, right? But I think we would see more ball movement. I think maybe over time, our field goal percentage may rise. The one thing that Timmy adds that I don't think that we would have is Timmy does have some of the swagger that you need, right? In Timmy's mind, he's on the cusp of being a superstar. That's what I believe. I believe in Timmy's mind, he's on the cusp of being a superstar. So he has a little bit of that swagger that I'm not sure we got from anybody else on the team right now. I don't think we have it. You know what I'm saying? So, that's one thing that he does add. And Timmy, he's not, he's not afraid to take the heat either, of taking the big shot. That's another thing about Timmy. He's not afraid to take that heat. You know what I'm saying? And you got to have some guys like that, good or bad. You got to have some guys like that. And he's not afraid to do it. Those would be some things that we would miss from Timmy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Raven, in his mind, he's on the cusp of being a superstar. I don't think he's on the cusp of being a superstar. I think Kimmy kind of is who he is. Ace, you said only KP has that swag. Well, I mean, only KP truly has it because he truly is on the cusp of being a superstar. On the cusp. Timmy thinks he has it, but I don't think he's on the cusp of being that. Timmy thinks he's on the cusp of being that superstar, but I don't think he's on the cusp of it. You know what I mean? I don't think he's on the cusp. I think he's just he just thinks it. He just thinks it. But having that thought sometimes it can, just thinking that about yourself can lead you to taking and making big shots, which we've seen him do. You know what I mean? We've seen him do it. All right. New name, Kimmy. I didn't mean to call him Kimmy. You know what I'm saying? If Tim Hardaway watching the stream, Tim Hardaway probably hates me, man. He probably hates me. You know what I mean? It's all good. If he ever seen it, he probably hates me. Anyway, Knicks versus Atlanta. Let's finish this up with Knicks versus Atlanta. I want to know what you guys think. I want you to, I'm coming around to the chat. Tell me what you think, Knicks versus Atlanta. And give me any last words. And we can we can go ahead and finish this off. All right. My man Nas, man, tell me what you think. Knicks versus Atlanta, and last words.
Knicks versus Atlanta. I think they're gonna get their revenge. I don't put anything past the Knicks. They lost to the Suns, so Atlanta's just a step up from that. And last words. The Knicks, I hope Scott Perry and Steve Mills are not in love with Timmy and they won't trade him. They got his dad at every game and he's acting like he's the big guy. So I really hope that they're up to trading him. I hope they do trade him, and I hope they give the other guys a chance to step up.
All right. I think he's going to be here. I'm not going to lie. You know what I'm saying? I think they got the, good old boy partnership, good old boy friendship with, Timmy, Tim Hardaway Sr., Scott Perry and them guys. I think Timmy's going to be here, at least for the duration of his contract. I don't think he's going to get traded, but we'll see. Hey, Nas, man, I appreciate the call, man. Definitely look forward to having you call back in or video back in. All right? All right, peace, man. Peace. All right. Let me see who we got here. I don't know who these other guys are here with the over things, so I'm gonna just go ahead and take them out because it don't look like they're here. Get them on up out of here. Kareem, I'm coming to you, man. What do you think about Knicks and Atlanta? And any last words? Cause I'm about to close up shop.
Okay, I can dig it. Hey man, I'll just say, all right. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know because the Hawks they have some talent. They have some talent, and they're just as bad as us. And so I don't know. I'm just looking for, I really don't care if we win or lose as long as we give an honest effort. And once again, we have players that showing progress. Because I did want to say my closing thoughts are, so all you Knicks fans out there, and all I was getting on a lot of people calling them fake analysts and all that. Cause I get tired. Nah, for real. Because I get tired of us as fans hating our players. Like, these are our players. Until they get traded, let's support these guys. You know what I mean? Let's support the coach, yada, yada. I get so tired of hearing people say, oh, we should have won that game. Oh, listen, all you Knicks fans out there, we are one of the worst teams in the NBA for a reason. There is not one team out there that we should beat. I don't care what their record is. We have the youngest team in the NBA. No team in the NBA best player is worse than Tim Hardaway Jr. So the people, we should have beat the Suns. No, they have Devin Booker. They have the #1 pick. They have other talent. You know what I mean? So it's not even maybe the Hawks, we should beat them, but other than the Hawks in the entire NBA, there is not one team that we should beat. So when we lose, please, you fake analysts, stop saying that we should have won that game. That's my final thoughts.
All right, my man. All right, Kareem. Let me see. When we back when we play again Friday. We back Friday night. All right, so I'll be looking forward to seeing you Friday, my man.
Man, yo, respect you all the time, Sam, man. Keep doing your great job, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Shout out to the chat, y'all. Y'all good, man.
Peace. All right, let's see who we got up here. Guillermo, I know I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to talk to the chat that much tonight. Guillermo, what's going on, man?
Good, man. I mean, look, man, it is what it is. This team is they lost. The coach is lost. I like it. Atlanta might actually win just because John Collins is actually doing pretty well right now, and they got that with the Dreads. I can't remember. Kind of killed us. Had a good game last game. The Knicks aren't a resilient team with regards to we a bounce back type of team. We just show flashes. And I'll say this last thing before I go. This is how I feel with Fizzo, man. One great thing that I remember Eddie Murphy said to Mike Tyson, he said, no matter how rich and powerful you are, you got to remember you're still ugly, man. And I think that with Fizzo, when you look at this team, you got to stop thinking that you're going to come in and it's going to be glamorous, man. You got to build this team like how you want. You got to take your lumps early and often, but make sure you have something that these guys can build up from. If you need to scream and bark at some guys and not make friends and not have Instagram likes because everyone likes you on the because you're a coach, then do it. I'd rather have guys hate me but love playing for me because they know I can get the best out of them versus everyone likes me but we're losing and I hope that some free agents and draft picks can come and save me.
Right.
So with Fizzo, he has to understand he has a clean slate and he needs to actually coach. He needs to coach. He needs to get down and dirty, man. Coach these kids, man. Instill some defense. Take some guys out. I don't care if you want to train for some draft picks, whatever. Scream on them. Bark on them. And let it be known, hey, I don't care what contract you have. I can take you out, and you're not going to be playing, and now you're screwed. Play to my system or you're out. That's all I got to say, man.
I'm with you.
On Friday, man.
I'm with you on that, man. I'll catch you Friday. I'm definitely with you on that. Peace. Let me see. Nate?
What's up, man? Sorry, I put my phone down for a minute. The Hawks, right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, I don't know what the hell to expect, to be honest with you, man. I mean, we lost to one of the worst teams in the NBA. We can't beat good teams. So, I mean, just hopefully the good players get better every game. That's going to be my answer every time you ask me about a game. And Trae Young will go off for 50.
Yeah.
In that game.
Okay. I mean, the Hawks are what? You look at the Hawks record right now. I think they got 8 wins. They got 7 wins. They're 7-23.
Yeah. But they're competitive, man. They played against the Wizards the last game and they beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and the Wizards beat us. So who knows?
All right.
I got 2 quick points because you said a lot of stuff and I'm trying to condense it into 2.
Okay.
So just real quick, my theory on the Mavs thing with the Hardaway and Wesley Matthews. So I live in Texas, and I do a lot of reading on blogs and all that. The Mavs are trying to get rid of Wes Matthews because what they're trying to do is Luka Doncic is their franchise player, and they're trying to surround him with shooters. And Wes Matthews is not a shooter. Now, I know Hardaway is not shooting the greatest percentage, but Hardaway is probably seen more as a Robin than a Batman. And they feel that he might be a good match with Luka Doncic, and maybe some of the other young players that they have, like Dennis Smith and all that. So I actually think it could possibly happen, and then, of course, we just take the expiring contract and get him off the books. But I think they they want shooters around Luka Doncic. And so, and Hardaway, has shown that when he plays on good teams, he can be a good shooter and, can play and can shoot a good percentage. I guess with the Knicks, he just cursed. I don't know. Can't really explain that one. But that's kind of my theory on that one.
That could be. That could be. Wes Matthews is shooting better than Hardaway right now.
Yeah. But I think Hardaway's got good range and Wes Matthews is he can shoot threes, but I don't know. I think if you put them both together, I think probably Hardaway shoots maybe a little bit better 3-pointers than Wes Matthews. They just want to spread the ball out for Luka because they see him as that playmaker type.
Right.
And they want to get shooters all around him because they feel like this is the guy that if we're going to go far, is going to lead us.
Right.
We need to get shooters around him.
Right, and Tim wouldn't have to be the man out there. So
exactly. And they think he would probably play better in that role as a Robin than a Batman.
Okay.
Which right now he's playing Batman instead of Robin.
Okay.
You know.
Well, let's see, man.
Yeah.
I hope it happens. I hope it happens. That gives us an expiring contract for 2019.
It'd be like
I mean, that gives us that would give us some serious money. If you're able to trade, I'd give up a second round pick to make it happen. I don't know about the first. I'd give up a second round. But if you're able to trade Hardaway and bring back an expiring $18 million contract, now
2 max deals.
Cantor comes off.
2 max deals.
Cantor comes off. I mean, now you're playing with some money. You're playing with some chips.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're playing with some real chips. I would love to see it happen.
Oh, I know you would. I think a lot of people would. Hey, but my last.
I'm gonna write to Santa and ask Santa for that for Christmas. That's all I want.
Hey, it's on my list, man. It's on my list. Hey, but my last final point is, man, how about Knox? I mean, people were down on Knox early. Oh, we whiffed on him, whatever, all this stuff. I watched that game in Philly in that first half. The guy looks like he gets it. You know, he is coming into his own. And, you know, that whole debate where we had in the beginning of the season where is it going to be Knox's team, KP's team? I tell you what, this boy keeps playing better, shoots better percentage. They're going to have this debate again. And I'm glad we're having this debate because I like this guy. I really do.
It'll come up again. Wait till when KP comes back. It'll come up.
Exactly. But he's honestly, earning his stripes.
If KP comes back this year, you really can't have that conversation until KP is like fully in the system, and then.
But the main thing is like right now. They should be able to play. They should be able to right now. He's the best player in my opinion. He's the best player on the Knicks right now. And a lot of people thought he wasn't even the 4th or 5th best player on the Knicks. Okay. He is now the best player on the Knicks. I mean, no disrespect to Timmy, but I mean, Knox just does more for me. He rebounds. His defense is getting better. He's aggressive. His 3-pointers looking good. He's got a little mid-range. He's got a little floater thing too. If you saw that little floater, it's like a jump shot, kind of shoots it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got some repertoire. So yeah,
he's got some things in his repertoire for sure.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited for him and KP together. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. It definitely.
All right, man.
All right, peace.
Have a good night. Peace.
All right, Ant.
Yo,
man.
About who play Atlanta next?
Yep. Play the Hawks next.
I think we can win. I'm not placing my bet either or, but I want to see Knox continue to, grow, continue to, show that confidence that he's showing. About that Tim Hardaway, I hate to burst everybody's bubble, but there's no way that we're trading Tim Hardaway for an expiring contract without it hurting us. We got to give up something else. The Mavericks aren't just gonna give us Wes Matthews an expiring contract, 2 seconds for Tim. They're going to want Frank. They're going to want somebody, to take that money on. So in the NBA, both teams got to feel like they won for a trade to go down.
They might feel like, maybe they feel like Tim Hardaway is that dude. Maybe they feel like Tim Hardaway is that dude. I don't know.
Man, listen, if the Mavs are that dumb, I will gladly pounce on their ignorance, but it's gonna, like I said, like you said, you want that for Christmas. I'll take it in a heartbeat. But I got a feeling they're gonna want a little something else.
I'm pretty sure they would. I'm pretty sure they'd want something else. It's not just gonna be that. Yeah,
they're gonna want something. We gonna have to exchange the draft pick or give up Frank, who reports came out they liked during the draft workouts. So, they may see that as something like they compare him with a Dennis Smith Jr. and a Doncic, and that may work. So they may look at something like that and say, you know what, taking Tim's contract is worth it. So then we got to ask ourselves, if that's the situation, what do you do? Do you like Frank enough to say no? Or do you look at the cap space that's more valuable than Frank? That's going to be a hard one to answer.
We'll see what they do. We'll see what happens. This we got about 2 months, a month and a half left.
It's gonna get real.
The trade deadline comes, and things gonna heat up.
I'm gonna be nervous, man, because Frank is my guy, but
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened, man, because I'm already on record as saying that Frank, I believe that Frank is going to be a really good player, but it's not going to be with the Knicks.
My only thing is if we end up giving Frank, they better get something for him, something of value. Like, I don't want to hear about no late first round picks. No, get something for him. Like, I don't want, because, we invested too much energy into him to get some scraps for him. So,
I mean, like I don't want to see it go,
but if it means we can get rid of Tim, you may got to think about it.
Like I said, man, he's gonna be a good player. It's not gonna be in New York. I don't think it's gonna be in New York. Not as long as Fizz is trying to wants to play the style that he wants to play. It'll be someplace else. That's what I think. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think Frank is a guy they respect. I think they respect him. I think everybody likes him, but I don't think he's somebody they believe in yet. And that may be the determining factor.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, man. I'll be here Friday.
Peace. And by the way, our boy Ron Baker got picked up by the Washington Wizards. So we'll be seeing Ron Baker again the beginning and middle of January in London. The Knicks play the Washington Wizards in London. Yeah. So Ron Baker, big up to Ron Baker. I'm glad he got picked up by another team. And, hopefully he's utilized well and he's able to, come in and play ball. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping for the best for Ron. D, it's on you, man. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. You might have it muted, D.
Can you hear me?
Yep, there you go.
All right. You want to know about Atlanta?
Atlanta and your last words.
Atlanta, they should be able to beat Atlanta. Like, at least make it close. Like, I want to come down to the last few minutes. If it's a 50-50 ball here, 50-50 ball there, I can live with that. I want to see Frank to continue to build that, that skyscraper in Trae Young's head. I need to see more ball movement because I think that's what Atlanta's going to do. I think that's what they're starting to really do is be able to play as a team. So it's not going to be like how the first game of the season was. Uh-huh. I think the Knicks going to get a rude awakening to how poor they've been playing when they run into Atlanta now.
Yeah.
Last words.
You know what I think the Knicks need? I mean, the Knicks have already, we've been smacked around a couple of times, but I think we need a real, just straight up ass whooping, like really, really bad, 40, 50 points. You know what I'm saying? Just a straight up, just a spanking. You know what I'm saying? And a spanking, not by the Celtics, not by the Warriors, but like a team like the Spurs. I mean, it almost happened with the Suns. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was really bad. It got bad against the Suns. But I'm saying, they need to get spanked by like 50 points against the Suns. You know what I'm saying? For them to really look and now be like,
off as they got Devin Booker and they got these players. But if it's like Atlanta, who just really has that one player that anybody knows, that's something different because it's Trae Young and then everybody else, right? So if you get cooked like that from Atlanta, then it's like, okay, well, what are we really doing here?
Yeah. That's what the Knicks just need to get like spanked. Just spanked. Like spanked real bad. You know what I'm saying? And then, see how they respond. See if that makes them say, okay, you know what, this is for real. We need to come out. Even if we're not winning games, we need to come out and play. Like play. You know what I mean?
I just think because Fizdale's not holding anybody accountable for the play on the court. Like if he's telling them to cut or do this and that, and he's not holding them accountable for not doing it, and he's allowing them to do whatever they want out there, then how can anybody expect them to play properly?
Yeah.
If he's like, we need to do this or that, and they're not doing it. But I don't even know what they're supposed to be doing. So that's the other. I'm watching the game as blind as them on the court.
Yeah. And D Grant says, "Sim, we've been spanked a few times." D Grant, when I'm saying spanked, I'm talking about like really spanked, like the players walking off the court and they want to cry. You know what I'm saying? Like really spanked.
I'm talking about spanking like Isaiah Hicks in the third quarter, kind of spanking. That's what you're talking about, right? You see the sight that kind of spanking.
Yeah, like Isaiah Hicks in the second quarter, like, you know, we just getting smacked by 40 by halftime. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just need one of those, and where they really have to look at themselves, look in the mirror, and be like, damn, you know, we just got like punished out this joint. We need to get to business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, D, man, I'm gonna let you rock.
All right, son.
All right, I'm gonna let you rock, man. All right. Appreciate you coming in, man. Look forward to having you back.
Yeah, I'll be back Friday.
All right, no doubt. Peace. All right, let me see who it is. Who is this?
Yeah.
Viv, it's on you, man.
All right. Look, so we're playing the Hawks on Friday, right? So we got them at home. Look, last night we were all there for the first game, right? We played the Hawks. We faced the Hawks at home, right? We had the nothing but this crew.
Right. Yeah, we was in there. It felt good, man. We felt good,
right?
We felt real good leaving that night.
Really good, right? And then, you know, 30-something games later, I don't know. The team's not that much different. There's a couple injuries here and there, and Atlanta has a few people that returned from injury. So, comparatively speaking, the teams are kind of in a similar place. But look, I don't know. They may get revenge. I don't know if they're going to get revenge.
Yeah, I can't speak for the emotion in Atlanta, but I feel like with this team here, we're kind of like we don't have the same vibe like we did that first game. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, we don't have our spirit is on the verge of being broke, and that's why I mean,
it's that time honestly, of the year, right, Sim? Like, you know, whenever you start the season, you got all this high hope, like, I'm gonna do this, right? You got those hype videos, I'm gonna get real hype. You got your starting lineups on MSG, like, we're gonna go crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, once you get that one losing streak of 2 or 3 games in a row, then, you know, you can see the foundation that starts to, you know, crumble a little bit.
Yeah, and you know what? That's why I'm saying, you know, talking about one of these like really real monster blowouts, it could come. It could come, man, because I'm looking at the team and it's like the spirit just isn't there on the floor. You know,
I hate to say it, you know, it could be on Christmas.
That'd be bad.
That's the worst. I mean, we have had blowouts on Christmas. You know, we've had it recently, but it could be one of those things that happen on Christmas. That's probably one of the worst blowouts you could ever have, because A is on Christmas, B is on national TV, and C, you know, anytime you have those type of big blowouts, especially right around this time of the year, it's very demoralizing. So, I know we've been in a position where we probably should have had one of those big blowouts at this point, but for some reason, you know, we've been a little bit composed to an extent that we've never had one of those terrible. We've had bad games. No, let me not get it wrong. We've had the bad games, but we've kind of been into these games for a good chunk of time. But around this time of the year, starting January, that's when those blowouts will start to hit. So it may not be tomorrow. It may not be Christmas, but it'll happen soon.
Yeah, this schedule coming up after Atlanta is going to be brutal, and it could come during one of those. It can come during one of those, man. We might be demoralized after that.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard especially with a very young team like ours to see how we can bounce back from these type of games.
Exactly.
Plus, we don't have a lot of those type of veterans that can really get people through some of these tougher times.
No, we don't have any. Maybe Lance, but that's about it.
Even then, he's not the best example because he never actually saw what it felt like to win a game.
Yeah.
No, I mean, no offense to Lance. Like when he came here in the Knicks, right? He was 26 years old, right? He saw a 17-win team. He saw a 30-win team. He saw a 33-win team or something.
He was on. He was on a couple of good playoff teams in OKC. Go back.
No, I don't even think he made the playoffs with OKC. He was only on OKC just for like a summer league season and for part of that first 2014-15 season, I think, until that trade. I don't even think Lance Thomas ever made the playoffs.
I remember looking at it a while back to see how many times he was in the playoffs. I think he was in there once or twice.
No, he actually wasn't. He was with the Pelicans for a couple seasons. The Hornets at the time, and I don't think the Hornets at the time made the playoffs. This is the lockout season, and this was the 12-13 season, which I know they didn't because they were in the lottery that season as well. So I can remember Lance did not make the playoffs. He was just part of one of those guys that just ended up becoming a vet because of the circumstances, the nature. But maybe Courtney Lee again. But again, Courtney Lee, I don't know if he's that type of a veteran player that can help.
Maybe it was someone else that I looked at. I don't remember who it was. There was someone I looked at because he was only one season.
One of those guys. But
only played
again, it's like
games in OKC.
Right. But again, it's one of those guys. It's, how do they? Maybe it's not just about bouncing back, right? Maybe it's just about, I'm looking at the coach's lens, right? How do I improve on what I just did? How do I work on some of those skills? How do I continue to become better at those individual crafts?
Yeah.
For example, we saw Fizz build up Noah Vonleh, or the whole team, right? They built up Noah Vonleh to a certain level. For example, if Noah Vonleh starts to struggle, say, in January, right, when that rough streak hits, how does Fizz and the company get him back into the groove of things? How do they get him back to that groove that helped him, become a very good player? And how do they get people out of a rut? Maybe these guys that lack the confidence in, maybe it could be a Frank, maybe it could even be a Moutier, right? There might be a stretch where Moutier might have a rough stretch. How do you get him back into the groove? How do you get a guy like Alonzo Trier back into the groove after missing 2-3 weeks? How do you get a Trey Burke back into the groove after missing, 3 weeks? It's going to be a real test for this whole staff that we have to see how good of a leaders they are.
Yeah. We'll see. But I think one of them's coming, man. I think one of them's gonna come.
It's coming.
And I think you got to hit rock bottom, in order for you to start, coming back up. Coming back up doesn't mean winning games, but you got to hit rock bottom before you really start to sometimes get in gear. So, Viv, I'll catch you on Friday.
I'll be in the YouTube chat probably. I think I'll be away from the appearing for a little while, maybe until I think Christmas is gonna be tough. Might be until after New Year's until I come back in the video.
All right.
But I'll be watching. I'll be in the YouTube chats if anything, and I will definitely follow the 24/7 streams as I did yesterday actually when I caught up with the Phoenix Suns.
That's what's up. I'm trying to build something there. So eventually I won't have the whole episode up there to just be some highlights. But the whole episode will still be available on the channel and just not in the 24/7 stream. So
right.
Yeah.
No, I saw the last episode. It was kind of I think it got a little heated to say the least. There was a lot of emotion after that stuff.
Yeah. Mark went off the handle.
Yeah, I told Mark. it was a crazy game, but you got a little crazy, right?
Yeah, he went off the handle. He's good for that a couple times a year.
I saw Prince do his thing for a little while too. He was
All right, man. Well, if I don't see you, have a great holiday. Have a great Christmas.
Oh yeah, you too. Definitely.
Right.
Have a great Christmas, Happy New Year too.
All right, later.
Yeah.
All right, Israel.
Yeah.
Your last words, my man.
My last words, man. I just want to see them play aggressive, man. Play some good basketball, man. Just it's nothing to look forward to that much this season except for some development. I just want to see Knox keep on developing, man. He's getting better and better every day. I'm happy about that. Yeah, man, just keep playing tough, man. I mean, Atlanta. I think we should get a W against Atlanta. They're playing a little bit better now. Vince Carter needs to go to another team, man. I can't believe he's freaking on Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah. But
man, he deserves a championship, man. He's the oldest player in the game right now,
and he can still play.
He can still play. He can still dunk.
Yeah, right. He can still play, dunk. Man. But he doesn't want to be a ring chaser. That's what he said. He's not out there to try to chase rings. So.
I give him a lot of credit for that, man. But I think we should try to get a W against Atlanta, man. I think they're playing at Atlanta or home.
I think it's. You know what? Let me see.
I think that's in Atlanta.
I think it's in Atlanta. And let's check that out. I agree with you, though. We need to get a W. No, it's at home.
All right, so yeah, we should get a W at home.
Yeah, even if it's for the morale, man.
I just want to see him play tough, man. Moody had a little off game today. He should, hopefully have a comeback game on that game. And I'm actually pretty happy for my man Ron Baker, man. He got another contract with the Washington Wizards. But yeah, with Atlanta, man, I hope we get a W. If not, as long as we fight, put up a nice fight with them. And just my man Knox, I hope he keeps developing, man. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to you, Sims, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
And I'll see you on Friday.
All right. Sounds good. Peace. Mark, last words is on you, brother. Last words is on you.
Atlanta been playing decent lately. They got back their guy Collins. He's really good, So they're a team that we still have to, worry about because they could shoot us out the gym also, because they play tough and everything. So it's just another one of those games where, I hope we win. I hope we get a dub. I hope to see some more things from Knox, some more things from Frank, and Dotson, et cetera, et cetera. Let me answer your question, Sim. That Tim Hardaway thing is a real thing?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it was once. I think Bill Simmons made the kind of brought it up as a suggestion. And this guy, I guess he works for a TV station or whatever it is, said that he heard from people that sources that he knew that were inside the Mavs organization. He's nobody that's big. So I don't know. It's probably just a rumor.
Okay, because there is a possible chance that if that's right, that could possibly go down. I'm gonna tell you why. With Wesley Matthews, he's a good player. He's a decent player, but when you watch him from night to night, he is not what he used to be. Mm-hmm. He shoots it well though. But the thing with the Mavericks now, where they're in a dilemma where because Harrison Barnes' deal comes off next year, right? That last $20 million I think Dallas owe him. So you got to think of it from this standpoint. They got Luka. They want to keep him in a winning atmosphere. Mm-hmm. So with them, when free agency come, teams are not going to go there. So a lot of what they have to do is a lot of take young players and put them and try to get them through trade. So Tim being 26, 25 years old, playing under Rick Carlisle, which he has if you watch Dallas, they have a great offense. And putting him in that would make him a better player because Rick don't play like that. Like he will shut down players if they go out the hinges of what he wants them to do. So giving up Wesley Matthews wouldn't be a problem because they want to bring in young players to play around Luka Doncic because when free agency comes for them, they're not going to be able to get players like that. So a lot of things they have to do is through the trade. So there could be a possibility for that. But if that happens for us, Sing, That's when I could say we might have a chance at Kevin Durant, because that opens up 2 max slots.
Now that would change a whole lot. That would change
the whole outcome of what the Knicks can do. Because number one, I didn't think Kevin Durant was gonna come by himself, because it ain't enough for him. But the thing is Kyrie. You can't really get a gauge on Kyrie. But what people are not understanding, what he said that night to the Boston fan, it's almost like if Danny Ainge don't pay me, then I won't be here. So everything has to do with Danny Ainge paying Kyrie that money. If Danny Ainge don't pay Kyrie that money, he is gone, and that is a fact. Mm-hmm. So just having those 2 max slots open this summer would be the most greatest thing for us.
It would. It'd be crazy.
That's when y'all could think about KD. That's when y'all could be like, okay, this would be a positive, because KD ain't coming here by himself. That's just it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
It ain't gonna happen, because when they get a taste of playing with great players and players who they can rely on, they ain't going back to that.
Exactly.
They ain't.
Exactly. Yeah, man. I mean, if it's true.
Oh my God!
That needs to happen. It'd be so. It'd be crazy. It'd be crazy, and this summer would be nuts, because we would have a draft pick. Then we would have 2 max slots. Oh my goodness! It'd be crazy.
And if we stay, I'm not talking about tanking or anything, but this is reality. This might happen. If we hang around the first and the 4th pick, there's a possible chance, because the way they did the draft lottery now, I think the first 3, I think they have the same amount of percentage to get the first round pick.
Get the first pick, right?
So I was thinking, if we hovered around those 4 slots, that is another major play for us. That is another major play for us. That is a valuable pick. Because when I'm thinking is what I would do personally if I had number 1 pick. I'm not too fond of Zion and RJ Barrett, and I don't really care for like the first 3. But what I would do if I had the ability of having that first round pick, and there's teams like Cleveland or etc., and say if Cleveland's around, they would have to give me their pick and a player. So basically, I would do what Dallas did with the Hawks. Get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we get more players.
Right.
Because I don't really care to have the first 3, because I don't really care for Zion and RJ Barrett like that. I don't really care for them like that. There's other players in this draft where I think the Knicks are gonna go for that have more grit. Because I think they're gonna go for players with grit that know how to play the game, and that came from a winning organization. And there's a lot of them in the first 7. The first 7. But I believe if we could hover around that, this Tim Hardaway thing will be the biggest thing this year. This will keep me on high. I'll be the most happiest Knicks fan y'all ever see if we could get off that Tim Hardaway deal.
Well,
that would be so beautiful.
We see what happens, man. We see what happens. Maybe we need to sign one of those, send some signatures to Scott Perry and say, yo, get rid of this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's to a point I will go up and stand by the entrance where they come in and wait for Perry.
Yo, that's funny. Hey, you never know, man. All right, Mark. We're gonna have a chance to talk about this later, because that trade deadline is coming up, and
it's coming fast, and these teams need shooters. Corny Lee gonna go. Oh my God!
And
yes. Yes.
All right, man. All right, man. Yo. Peace.
Shout out to the Chizat.
Peace. Good show, ladies and gentlemen. For what it's worth, I think the Knicks are going to lose to Atlanta. I don't think we're going to beat Atlanta. I think we're going to lose to Atlanta. I think right now the team is really down on itself. It's going to take something big to pull ourselves out. That's just my opinion. So I think we're going to lose to Atlanta. Yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. I hope we don't. I want to win, but I think we're going to lose. All right. You guys have a great rest of your week. I will see you Friday night, Friday pregame. And my pregame, just pay attention. I want you guys to pay attention to this real quick. And I'm going to do a little video about it maybe. The pregame, Actually, Friday's pregame is going to be, the 24-hour stream is going to be up, and you won't get a notification. You just jump onto the pregame at 7 o'clock. You jump on the 24-hour stream, and it'll be there. I'm trying it out to see how it works, and doing it that way to see if, I'm just trying out some new things, trying some things around. So on Friday at 7 o'clock, just jump on the stream. It'll be up. Just jump on the stream, and there it goes. I do like a little video just to remind you to jump on the stream. All right, but I'm out of here. All right, I'm out of here, and I will see you guys Friday. All right, make sure that you check out the 24-hour stream. You know what I'm saying? And I know you're not going to stay on there for hours and hours and hours at a time, at least until some new content starts to come up. But as many people as you can get to visit the stream, join the stream, get on the stream, get on there, because it's going to be always up for you to chat and talk and things. And I'm working on some new designs so that it'll keep you always updated with Twitter, updated with, just news about the Knicks and stuff like that. I'm working. I want to make this thing pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the only one, at least right now, the only one that's around. You know what I'm saying? Until somebody jumps in and duplicates it, which could happen. You never know. You know what I'm saying? But trying to make this thing pretty dope. So any suggestions you have, let me know. And it's not gonna, it's gonna be down for a little while until I'm gonna get it back up in about an hour or so. But have a great week. I'll catch you guys on Friday, 7 p.m. on the Knicks 24/7 stream. Pre-game. Catch me there. Ace. Mm.